Live at CollectCo for Thursday night's live Facebook and YouTube record sale. Sorry for the delayed response or delayed start. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. I think y'all know the drill by now.
Facebook's working.
Facebook's working. That's a good sign. Craig's the first comment. Craig is in Southern California with about 15 monitors in front of him. He does all of our track listings voluntarily, and he has sent me a message earlier saying, you may have to go old school if Facebook isn't watching, and luckily it's working. So, we got new vintage arrivals, new vinyl. I've got to step to the back and get our Japanese stuff. I see like 30 Funkos behind me. We may show a few of those tonight. I actually just got here, so as usual, everything I'm showing tonight is going to be a surprise, including all the vintage stuff. We just pulled a Kiss record out of the check condition bin, and from what I'm seeing, it's really good titles. Uh-oh. There's the John and Yoko with the calendar. There's a Surlistic pillow. So yeah, we're going to have some good vintage. New vinyl. It's Thursday. Unfortunately, it's Record Store Day week, and we don't participate in Record Store Day week, so the new releases for this week are kind of limited. We had the Audio Slave come in, which we've already sold out of last night. And I've got a couple new things tonight. Townes Van Zandt, some other stuff. I filtered through all the Record Store Day stuff, anything that I could order that was new that maybe people were overlooking because it wasn't a Record Store Day title. And I did find a few things. Looks like Tanner's pulled a pre-order list. So we have a couple things there. And of course, we can blame Seth for the late start. So, all right. Now, I'm going to go ahead. I'll announce it also later when I'm on, but for sure, we're going to have a late start tomorrow, if have a show at all. I'm going to look at a collection of not only records, but like a lot of different stuff. And it's one of those deals where the guy works, and I can't get to his house till the afternoon, maybe even late evening. And if I end up buying everything he has and we have to move it, we'll be moving stuff all night. So we might be a really late start tomorrow, if have a show at all. But if that's good, if it's a good thing though, y'all will be happy because we'll have a lot of stuff. It's not just records either. So, all right, let me get this shared. I just shared it in the group. If you're watching on Facebook, there's an arrow button that says share. Click that. You can share it to your group, your in Messenger. You can send it to people directly. And let me see. I just shared it there. There's a couple other groups I share it to there and here. So let me get them shared there. And we got a lot of new people on Instagram actually. So I have started promising those people via posts and ads that we would share it to our story. So let's go over here and find our Instagram, and let me get it shared there. Story. Let me find one of our cool generic pictures of a room full of records. Let's do this here, all these Led Zeppelin spines from the Dallas collection. Link and paste and live now. Alright, I've shared it at Twitter. I think Showstopper Ron from the Netherlands, did you originally find us on Twitter? Somebody said they found us on Twitter, and I saw that pop up somewhere in a message or an email, but they couldn't comment, and then they found us on YouTube. So, man, I'm glad we're streaming to Twitter, even though we can't see comment. If you're on Twitter, we can't see your comments. You can watch on there right now, but we can't see your comments. Okay, I've got my chat box pulled up. We got 133 watching. That will probably grow, especially as people find out that we actually are having a show tonight. Let me go through this crate of new vinyl, which looks like it's the recap bin from last night. I'll go ahead and get some auctions started about halfway through this because Seth, who handles our Japanese department, he's out of town pretty much for the rest of the week. He got a bunch of stuff ready for us. Not everything's tagged, but I can take a look at it. We made sure it was all at least in good condition, and none of it was check condition Japanese. Boy, there's some great stuff. We got a whole stack of Japanese 7-inch 45s, those really cool picture sleeves. I want that Men at Work album. Well, I'm going to disappoint you. This is not Men at Work. I know it has the same color scheme, but this is Metallica 72 Seasons. I could see how you thought that was Men at Work with the black and yellow, but that is not Men at Work. You probably thought that was business as usual. That is Metallica 72 Seasons. Sorry, Ken. Big difference there. Down Under and Lux Eterna. Okay. Ken Crooker needs to put back the Raven he got last night, and we can do that for you. All right, I'm going to get started. We always consider this the warm-up bin. It's always a recap, but if you didn't watch last night, you may see some stuff you didn't. This is the Quentin Tarantino Experience, Volume 3. I remember when Volume 1 came out, we sold a ton of them, and I didn't get a lot of Volume 2s. I think I almost missed that one, and then luckily I found this one, Volume 3. The last copy we have has a light seam split up here. I'm going to send that back tomorrow if no one buys it tonight, because this was back ordered. I had 3 ordered, I only got 1, so I don't know if I can get any more. We sold 2 last night, and of course, songs from Tarantino's movies. Great stuff as usual. $44.99, and that's on red and yellow vinyl. That's my last copy. And if anybody wants one, and maybe I can try to get a better copy that doesn't have a seam split, we'll put you down, and whenever it comes in, we'll mark it as yours. This came back in stock last week, U2 Singles. This is a 2 LP compilation from U2, the boys from Ireland. This is an 18-track greatest hits. It's singles, but pretty much it's the best U2 compilation that has all eras of their music on it, $38.99. We sold out of that last week. There's 3 more copies. Bob Seger's Greatest Hits. That's a 2 LP, $36.99 for Bob Seger's Greatest Hits. And Motorhead 1916. Evidently, first time it's been pressed on vinyl since 1916. No, that's a joke. This is first time in vinyl in over a decade. $34.99. First sales of the night. Mitchell Thomas on U2 Singles, $38.99. I was really surprised I didn't get gone last night. If there's one left over, I'm going to keep it. I have like an entire crate of, I'm one of those completists when it comes to U2. Same way with David Bowie, yes, and that's something I don't have yet, so. And Ken Heplin on Bob Seger. Ken, I've got you down for Bob Seger. So U2, Seger, and Paul Brothers on the 1916. I guess they were making, records really weren't being made in 1916, but I guess like wax cylinders and some of those early Victrola Edison discs for 78s. Not a lot of music being made in 1916 for sure, where you could buy for your home use. Bleach, $44.99. This is a transparent blue vinyl. We actually have sold a couple of these. There's one stray copy left over if anybody wants it. The TV Animation Bleach Original Soundtrack Volume 2. That is $44.99. U2 here's another U2 restock. Under a Blood Red Sky. That is $33.99. $33.99 for U2 Under a Blood Red Sky. Got 3 more of those available. And Neck Deep. 10th anniversary on orange vinyl, $28.99 for Neck Deep. Run the Jewels, $44.99. This is, I haven't really figured out how to read this. It says CU4TRO. I don't know, that might be read like Quattro, but in a different thing, 4, So it's some kind of reimagined Run the Jewels 4, so they may read that as Quattros. I don't know. $44.99. It is Quattro. Okay, that's what I was figuring. I don't know why I thought maybe Quattro was with a Q. Maybe, I guess it is a C. Sublime, $5 at the door. Tanner, I just seen a message come in that somebody wanted this. I think it was Brittany Bragg. I don't know if Brittany's watching, but there's another copy, yellow vinyl, $39.99 for Sublime. That's a new release. Here's one of the few new releases for this week that's not Record Store Day. $5 at the door. And we had a pre-order of that, about a dozen people. I read that list last night, $39.99. Bob Marley Exodus. Here's one of those. It was blowing our mind last night. These are pressed in Jamaica, but then there's a sticker on the back that says Made in the USA, and we're assuming that's for the jacket. I'm almost positive the vinyl is pressed by Tough Gong, actually in Jamaica. And that's Bob Marley's classic album, Exodus. Did I miss anything else? I don't think I did. Trez Dabney wants a Sublime, and Brittany Bragg says, yes, I will take one. That is one copy left of Sublime. That is the indie exclusive on yellow vinyl. Weezer, the Green Album. If you missed this last night, this is the Weezer Green Album. They use direct metal mastering on their pressings. Abbey Road Studios. They always sound good. The Blue album, which we still have in stock, the Blue album sounds really good. How much is Soundgarden Bad Motorfinger? I had that up for our thumbnail image. What did I do with it? Oh, it's in the front. I haven't got to it yet. Give me 1 second on Soundgarden. Another new release from Third Man Records. This is the 20th anniversary of the White Stripes Elephant. This is on colored vinyl, $49.99. I'm down to 4 copies, and I think we started with 30. So White Stripes Elephant, $49.99, 20th anniversary, limited edition, colored vinyl. Gary Samuels on Weezer. That's sold to Gary Samuels, and 4 copies of White Stripes left. Peter Criss, the Kiss solo album from Peter Criss, and this is the picture disc. If you're interested in the others, they're around here somewhere. We've got Gene and Paul and Ace around here as well. If anybody's interested in going ahead and saying, I'll take all 4 of them. We've got them. Allman Brothers, the pink and blue vinyl, $54.99. Raven, Stay Hard. We have 2 of these available now. That's a music on vinyl limited to 750, $38.99. And there's Soundgarden. Bad Motorfinger is $39.99. I don't know how that ended up here. It looks like a customer set it up here, probably from shopping in the store today. But that's, I think, the only copy we have. John Sheehan wants the Raven. I actually have 1 more copy that was put back today, and that is $38.99. $38.99. And Soundgarden is sold to Robin Pruitt, and Corey Wade was second. I honestly don't know if we have any more of those. I don't know whoever put that up there, I really don't know where they found it. So, Corey Wade, I'll take down your name. I'll search some bins and pockets for more Soundgarden LPs. We usually have a bin full of them, but I don't know. We also have Down on the Upside. Let me go ahead and show that. Here's another Soundgarden. This one had been out of print for a long time. And then I've got, we usually keep 1 or 2 copies of Super Unknown. And one time I had like a whole crate of those. Mitchell Thomas wants Eat a Peach. Quick recap. I'm going to go ahead and put down some auctions. I got to step to the back. Actually, we'll go ahead and pull some stuff out of here. I told you I had this check condition bin. Here's something I've never seen and a lot of people's asked for. This is the John Lennon Live Peace Toronto 1969. And it has the calendar with it. This originally came with this calendar. Now, this is not how I imagined it. I was thinking like some kind of like fold-out poster that easily fit to the jacket. This has actually got like a, like a portfolio binding on it. But this is the John and Yoko Live Peace Toronto 69. The cover's in shrink wrap. The vinyl's about... The John graded, actually. It was in the check condition bin. Yeah, it's about VG Plus on the vinyl. Covers in shrink wrap, VG Plus on vinyl. Obviously an OG because we had the calendar with it. And we'll put this up for a $65 start. And the calendar appears to be in really good condition. I've bought and sold a ton of these. I think at one time we had 10 or 12 back there in the John Lennon bin. Never seen the John and Yoko calendar before. $65 start on that. I got a Kiss Alive 2. I'm also going to put it for auction. John Porter said Towns. I got a Towns Van Zandt, but I hadn't shown it yet. And just one more quick run through this bin. I feel like I missed something else. Gary Samuels asked the price on Weezer. Weezer was $34.99. We also have Peter Criss, White Stripes, Exodus, Sublime, Run the Jewels. This is the indie exclusive. Yes, indie exclusive yellow vinyl, $44.99. Neck Deep is $28.99. U2, The Bleach, not Weezer, that's U2, and the Quentin Tarantino. I've got 1 left. If anybody decides they want any of those, let me know. All right. Now, new vinyl, including some restocks. I've got this bin, and then I've got another one, and then we'll start on some new vintage arrivals, which I know y'all are on the fence for. How many crates we got? We got 4 crates of new vintage arrivals. So let's first do the new vinyl. Jason Kenton says Run the Jewels sold. And David Tate, the Peter Criss picture disc is $38.99. $38.99. I don't know about y'all, but my allergies are fighting back. So if you hear me sniffling like that, sorry. I'm breathing through my mouth and as much talking as I'm going to be doing the next 4 hours. I might get a little dried out, so I might be taking more than 1 water break every 10 minutes. Did you get my message about the Tarantino replacement? We will check on that now. If I need to set that aside for you, let me know. And did you get my message about the Santana 3? I have not personally seen that, no. I have not looked at probably inbox in 2 or 3 days. But Tanner is probably going to be looking at that right now. Okay, Billy Idol, $33.99. Billy Idol, that is a new sealed reissue of what they call his original sequence release. At least that's what my distributors call it, $33.99. Breaking Benjamin, Ember, Breaking Benjamin is $29.99. Let me start checking some of my pre-orders. Tanner pulled most of these. Yeah, Susie Breedlove, we had you down on a waiting list for Billy Idol. And Clay Moore, we had you on a Breaking Benjamin waiting list. So Clay, you've already got a Breaking Benjamin. Susie, you've already got a Billy Idol. And Queens of the Stone Age rated R. Queens of the Stone Age is 36. A lot of these are restocks that we've had multiple times. We go ahead and order one more additional if anybody wants it, and then we can always take waiting list. Matthew Christ and Jerry Stone. Matthew Christ and Jerry Stone, you was already on a waiting list for Queens of the Stone Age rated R. Corey Wade wants a Queens of the Stone Age rated R. That's sold to Corey Wade. John and Yoko calendar, $65 start. If no one bids, I'll make it a buy it now. Let me find that Kiss record. Let me see what else is in the check condition bin. Hendrix, that's always good. Some Doors. Here's Kiss. We always auction Kiss. Scorpions. Probably everything else I'll just leave in here for surprises. Let me see what labels is on this Almond Brothers. He didn't mark it. And I don't see pink in there, so that's a second press. We always auction off the... Well, that's a trippy RE Experience cover. It looks like it's 3D. That is either a misprint or some kind of... That's some good records in there, though, for sure. Elvis, one of his Elvis album, the early one, and Spinners. Okay, this is a VG copy of Kiss Alive 2. Here's the back cover. We've already checked it for the deleted tracks. It's not one of the rare jackets. It's got both inner sleeves. The vinyl's VG. Gatefold has a little bit of wear there, as you can see. That's a $20 start. $20 start on those two there. Michael Nath, the Stevie Ray Vaughan unofficial, got pushed back until I posted it on the pre-order post. It's about a month later than it was originally supposed to come out. Okay, After the Rain, Muddy Waters, $29.99. Chris Kirkley, you was on a waiting list for that. Chris Kirkley, you was on a waiting list for that, $29.99. David Tate is at $20 on Kiss Alive 2. Somebody was asking about this the other night. They said, can you get the one with the avocado on it? And this is Pearl Jam self-titled. That's actually their self-titled album, $46.99. It's not their debut album, but it is their self-titled album. That's Pearl Jam, $46.99. Aerosmith Pump, $36.99. A lot of singles in here, stuff we've had before that I'm just restocking. And Queens of the Stone Age, Era Vulgaris, $36.99. Queens of the Stone Age. We had a waiting list for one of those too. Let's see, rated R. Matthew Christ. Matthew Christ was also on a waiting list for Queens of the Stone Age, Era Vulgaris. And Darren Wortman first on Pearl Jam. Corey Wade also on Queens of the Stone Age. And like I said, any of these singles that I sell out of, let me know. We take a waiting list. This is Thursday night, so by the time we get these back in, it won't be on the next invoice you get. It will be on the one after that. And Nathan Myers wants Aerosmith Pump. That's sold to Nathan Myers. What year is the John and Yoko calendar? Let's see here. Well, it starts at January 1970, which is I think about the release year for this album. It's Live Peace Toronto 69, so that makes sense. But yes, this originally came with it. Like I said, I've had 100 copies of that probably. First time I've actually seen one with the John and Yoko calendar. $65 start. Vinyls VG Plus, covers in shrink wrap, and it appears to have the original inner sleeve, which is probably just generic, it looks like. But sometimes you can tell if it's been in there a while. Pearl Jam, live at Fox Theater, that is $24.99. $24.99 for Pearl Jam, and that's a live unofficial. And there were several people on that. We have sold a bukudo of these. 1994, it's a single disc. I think it's really popular because it's a great sounding record, and it's like some of the great hits. Dissident, Better Man, Daughter, Riverview Mirror, Even Flow, Jeremy Black, and Alive. Wow. Two of those still left. Paul Brothers, Alan Case, and Joe Maynard was all on a waiting list for that. Cage the Elephant, their self-titled album, $34.99. felt like about everything in here we had a waiting list for. It might have been one person. It might have been two people. Cage the Elephant. Was there a waiting list for the self-titled? I don't see it. There is for the other ones that's coming up, though. Cage the Elephant, $34.99. Kiss Revenge, $33.99 for Kiss Revenge. This is the 2014 remaster, the U.S. version, $33.99 for Kiss Revenge, $33.99. I feel like I need to check all these. Kiss Monster, we had a waiting list for that, but not, yeah, Kiss Revenge. Kiss Revenge, I put Don Duffield, Tanner, but that's supposed to be Ron Duffield. Ron Duffield and Darren Wortman. Ron Duffield and Darren Wortman on this here. That said Don, but I'm pretty sure that's Ron. I've never seen a Don Duffield, but I know we have a Ron. David Tate on Kiss Revenge. David also has the high bid on Kiss Alive at $20. Final call. I'm going to go ahead and end that in just a second and sell that to David for $20. New Overkill Scorched, $36.99. This is the gold vinyl, limited to 2,500. I posted a pre-order for that, Overkill Scorched, that was on gold vinyl, limited to 2,500. The pre-order for that was Andy Wade, Floyd Furman, Jay Condi, Richard Davis, Eric Shepis, and Ken Crooker. And that's a new release. Once again, one of the few new releases non-record store day for this week. That's Overkill Scorched, $36.99. Andy Wade, Floyd Furman, Jay Condi, Richard Davis, Eric Shepis, and Ken Crooker. I've got two of those left, and those are limited. The gold vinyl that I posted is $36.99. All right, go ahead and sell David Tate, Kiss Alive 2 for $20. And if anybody wants to do a buy it now on the John and Yoko calendar, which is pretty much Live Piece Toronto, that's a $65 buy it now. I'm going to lay it right there. If that doesn't get sold tonight, that might end up in the personal archive of Chad Z. Williams. So you can buy it tonight, though, before I decide to keep it, because I've never seen one. Here's some good stuff. The Velvet Underground Loaded. We actually can still get the limited edition clear vinyl from the Atlantic 75th Anniversary celebration. That is $31.99 for the Velvet Underground Loaded, $31.99. Tres Hombres, ZZ Top. Somebody asked for a copy of this, and then somebody else did, and we realized we were sold out again. And Kelly LaFotte, we have one already pulled for you. ZZ Top, Tres Hombres. We have two more available if anybody needs one. The new Jethro Tull album. This is on indie exclusive. Gatefold Coke Bottle Clear Vinyl. So it's a gatefold. The vinyl's Coke Bottle Clear, 100-gram LP, and of course the booklet. Not an Ian Anderson, an actual Jethro Tull, the 23rd studio album. That is $38.99. That is a new release. Jamie Butler says he'll take an Overkill. By the way, I highly recommend this pressing. Not only recommend the album, but that's a good sounding record. ZZ Top Paul Gill is $31.99. Paul Brothers says he'll take a ZZ Top. And we have Townes Van Zandt. First time on vinyl. Grammy nominated for Best Folk Album of the Year in 1999. Townes Van Zandt, A Far Cry from Dead. Never on vinyl until this moment right here. $36.99. Townes Van Zandt, $36.99. And a restock of an AC/DC album that was very tough to get. We had on back order for a long time. That is Stiff Upper Lip. AC/DC, $34.99. Robin Pruitt wants a Townes Van Zandt. Jamie Butler said he'll take a ZZ Top. Now, Paul asked for it. Paul Gill, that is. Paul, you've got dibs on that last one if you want it. If not, we're going to give that one to Jamie. And let me read through those titles one more time. Let me step to the back and find our Japanese stuff. I could pick more stuff out of here. But let me find some stuff to auction, or let me pull something out of somewhere and get some kind of auction going. Let me see what I got over here. Let me just step to the back, and then we're going to go ahead and do the first bin of check condition. But let me go to the back and get our Japanese crate, which is somewhere back here. We might grab that one that hasn't been gone through yet. Alrighty. Okay. So, thanks everybody for tuning in so far tonight. We're really getting into what I call the heat of the show. The first vintage bin. First vintage bin. Paul says he can have it. Darren Wortman says he'll take one of the new Jethro Tulls. Let me go ahead and put up 2 new auctions. Let me see what we got in here in the Japanese bin. We have, that one is, let's see here. Okay, we got the Beatles Blue Album, HSAS, Michael Schenker Group, Styx, 38 Special, Queen, Power Station. That looks like the Carpenters, ABBA, Survivor, Culture Club, Styx, Joe Walsh, Doobie Brothers. Let me stop there and go ahead and pull out this Survivor and this Styx, and we'll get started with these 2 auctions here. Okay, so here's what's left in this bin. Billy Idol, $33.99, Breaking Benjamin Ember, Muddy Waters, Pearl Jam Live, Cage the Elephant, self-titled, Kiss Revenge, Overkill Scorched, last copy, Velvet Underground, Jethro Tull, last copy. Townes Van Zandt title is A Far Cry from Dead, first time on vinyl. That was nominated for a Grammy in '99, and AC/DC, Stiff Upper Lip. Corey Wade says he'll take the Cage the Elephant. And I think I've pulled everything from that bin. Our first 2 auctions, we have Styx. Cure Warrior was here. It's a Japanese promo copy. Now, I don't know a lot about a Japanese language, but I can tell you those 3 symbols there basically translate to what we know as promotional copy, not for sale, or at least promotional copy. I don't know if it also means not for sale, but it definitely means promotional copy. So this is gatefold, has the Japanese booklet with it, really nice vinyl, near mint minus, pristine, and a really nice jacket. And it is a Japanese promo copy. $35 start for Styx, Kilroy Was Here. That's up for auction. And then Survivor, Eye of the Tiger. This one's cool because when this came out, the song was so popular from Rocky 3, they included a little image on the obi. This is another non-check condition Japanese press. And so anytime I say near mint minus or pristine, they're going to look like this. We get these from Japan. They look like they've never been played. It's just amazing how high grade some of their LPs are. There's the lyric insert, Japanese insert, and there's the cover of Obi. That's also a $35 start. Stacy Brown says she'll take Billy Idol. And let's go ahead and bring up that crate of new check condition stuff. Roger Ramjet says he's in on Styx at 35. He's in on Styx at 35. Check condition. John Young says he gets excited when he hears this. I do too, because it's usually really good titles that unfortunately just, they're not like the kind of records we normally put out. We have enough check condition inventory in the back for probably 10 years worth of shows. We like to usually just put out nicer stuff. Or the nicest we can put out, but check condition, everybody's usually really happy with it. So if you're kind of new to our shows, everything we get in, when we get in a record, we look at it, we clean it either by hand or we put it through our ultrasonic cleaner. We check it. If it's a high grade record, we don't put any notes on it. If it's something that needs to go in the check condition bin, you'll see what I'm talking about here. And you occasionally will see a VG minus, which is going to be a rough record, but most of it's VG, VG plus, and then EX. That's what we have here. And then EX is a grade you don't hear too often, but we use it here because we sell stuff so fast and y'all don't get to see it, but like a split second. If I say EX, it's not far from being a near mint minus record. So does a cleaner get rid of the crackling? Sometimes. If it's got scuffs or scratches, it's not going to fix that. Sometimes it will buff out a scratch almost, or a scuff, but especially after you hand dry it. But no, sometimes though, I don't know. It depends record to record. I will stop talking and show you the spinners from here to eternally. The spinners is an EX copy, $12.99. So there's that EX grade I was just telling you about. As you can see, I see just a couple stray marks on it, and there's a couple on here more than normal, keeping it from not being in the check condition bin. The spinners is an EX copy, $12.99. All right, Jody Ruffner is at 40 on Styx. Roger Ramjet's at 45, and Tracy McFadden's at 35. So we do have a bin on both auctions. Eye of the Tiger's at 35 of Tracy McFadden, and Styx is at 45. John Porter is first to the spinners. John Porter says he's got VG minus records from us, and they sound pretty good. A lot of people told me that. They're like, we've got VG records from you, and they sound fine to me. So, John Denver. This one's called Wind Song. This is $7.99. Wind Songs. That is an EX copy. $7.99 for John Denver Wind Song. Elvis. I was just telling you about this. It's VG, $39.99. This is one of, actually, his second album on RCA. His second album altogether. It's called Elvis. Elvis Presley, $39.99. And that is a 1956 mono. VG, the cover is also VG. Usually it's like got really bad splits on it. This one's not too bad. It's a VG copy all around. $39.99 for Elvis Presley Elvis. That is a 56 mono. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. EX on that, $32.99. There's a hit on here you've probably heard called Money for Nothing. $32.99 on Dire Straits. Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland. EX, $29.99. 2LP gatefold, two-tone reprise label. Not a bad-looking copy. $29.99. Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland. $50 on sticks, going twice, going three times. And Tracy has Eye of the Tiger for $35. I'm about to sell both of those. Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. EX copy, $24.99. Covers in shrink wrap. Original price tag, it looks like. Vinyl is EX, $24.99 on Cash. The Cars, Heartbeat City. This is a VG Plus, $24.99. VG Plus, $24.99 for the Cars, Heartbeat City. Terry's at $50 on Eye of the Tiger. Darren Wortman on Jimi Hendrix. And Marshall Bassett wants the Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. We have Cash. There's Cars. Hall & Oates, Abandoned Luncheonette. Hall & Oates is a VG Plus, $14.99 for Abandoned Luncheonette. That's a good one. Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? This is a VG copy, $14.99. Here's the cover I was telling you about. It looks like it got almost like misprinted or something, but it's got this wild 3D looking effect to it. VG, $14.99. Looks like it got double stamped. I mean, they're not supposed to look like that. Very odd. Kind of trippy. Maybe they should have originally made it like that. $14.99. Paul Gill wants H&M's. H&M's was probably meant to say H&O, and that did some kind of odd autocorrect. Paul, let me know if that's not right. Paul Gill, Hall & Oates, Patrick Lear second, Michael Bohannon third. He said it was supposed to be H&O. Tracy's back in on Survivor. I was waiting for Roger Ramjet to say Out on Sticks. He hasn't. Jody Ruffner has that for $50. Going twice, going three times. Jimi Hendrix again, Midnight Lightning, VG Plus, $19.99. And The Cry of Love, also Jimi Hendrix, VG Plus, $24.99. So, triple Hendrix. The Ozark Mountain Daredevils, It'll Shine When It Shines, VG Plus, $14.99. This probably has their biggest hit, Jackie Blue, on it. VG Plus, $14.99. Michael Nath said Lightning, Jimi Hendrix. That's sold to Michael Nath. And I'm sure Jimmy looked that way for many people in the 60s. Yeah, most probably people were listening to that. They were seeing double anyway. Jimi Hendrix is VG, $14.99. John Porter on Ozark Mountain Daredevils. That's sold to John Porter. And Heavy D and the Boys, Big Time, VG Plus, $19.99. That is a full album. $19.89, VG Plus, $19.99. Randy's going to take that tripped out Jimi Hendrix Are You Experienced. That's sold to Randy. Roger's Out on Sticks. Let's go ahead and sell that for $50 to Jody. And we're still bidding on Survivor. Tracy McFadden's at $41. Terry Westwood, let me know if you're in or out on Survivor. If not, I'll go ahead and sell that to Tracy unless somebody else bids between now and then. Eric Clapton Backless, EX copy, $32.99. Some of these have this gold foiling on it. See how that's gold foiling and the back is too. Some of these have that, some of them don't. Obviously, the earlier pressings do. Terry's at $48 on Survivor. The Doors is a VG copy, $24.99. Let me see what kind of label we have here. Vinyl is VG, $24.99. Looks like we got a VG Plus cover. Original inner sleeve, and it's on the gold Electra label, or at least like kind of a gold. I think the earlier Doors album, especially like the first one, is truly a gold-looking label. That looks gold, but really isn't. It's kind of close to it, though. Appears to have the original inner sleeve with it, and that is VG, $24.99. Tracy's out on Survivor. Terry bid 48. Does Heavy D have Now That We Found Love on it? And Jeff McMaster wants the Heavy D title. Jeff was first asking the title. It's called Heavy D and the Boys Big Time. And Jeff asked that, and then David says, does it have Now That We Found Love? I don't see that on here, unless it's under a different title. VG Plus 1999. John Young on the Doors and John Young on the Doors. That's sold to John Young. Tracy is out on the Survivor, so same thing. Terry's at 48. Final call. I'll put up 2 new auctions. Get your yayas out. This is the Rolling Stones in concert. VG Plus $24.99. VG Plus $24.99. Rolling Stones. And the Doors 13. This one has the hype sticker with the track listing on it. The Doors 13 is a hits compilation. VG Plus $24.99. Light My Fire, Touch Me, Hell I Love You, People Are Strange, Love Me 2 Times. All those great Doors songs. Let's see, that's sold to Ryan Anderson, and let's go ahead and sell Survivor to Terry Westwood for $48. How much was HD? HD was Heavy D, and that was a VG Plus $19.99. Okay, next 2 auctions. I think we had another Styx in here. Clapton, let's see here. ABBA. Let's do another Styx and a 38 special, because this is a promo copy as well. We have Styx, Paradise Theater, another classic Styx album. Paradise Theater. I think these are etched, just like the, this is a promo copy. There's the promo symbol on the back of that label too, but see how these are laser etched, just like the U.S. pressings as well. This is a promo copy. Styx, Paradise Theater. It's marked on the label. There's the Japanese book that came with it as well. Too much time on my hands. And gatefold, nice copy all around. And where was this one marked promo? Maybe it's just on the label. Yeah, this one's, wait a second. Yeah, this one's marked promo on the label, but there's no indications on the jacket. So that's a good thing, though. It's actually on the label. So $35 start on Styx. $35 start on Styx. And this is for sure marked promo. Special Forces, 38 special. And let's see if the label is as well. So a lot of Japanese promo copies tonight. $35 starts on this. This one looks like it's never even been touched. 38 special. Special Forces. There is your insert. Donnie Van Zant, lead vocals. What a great voice. $35 start. If your last name ends in Van Zant, there's a good chance you can sing. Blood Rock 3. Blood Rock 3. VG copy, $9.99. Surlistic Pillow. This is a VG copy, $39.99. It is a 67 mono Rockaway press. 67 mono VG condition. It is in mono though. That's the one most people are looking for. Nice jacket in partial shrink wrap at least. $39.99. Allman Brothers is a VG Plus, $24.99. The Allman Brothers VG Plus, $24.99. That's on the second Capricorn label. Doesn't look bad though. Jimi Hendrix Loose Ends is a VG copy, $14.99. Jimi Hendrix Loose Ends. VG copy, $14.99. And Rare Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix Volume 4, VG Plus, $24.99. Rare Hendrix Volume 4, VG Plus, $24.99. Looking for $35 starts on those. John Young is first to the Jefferson Airplane. Nigel Del Rocket was second. Nathan Myers first on the Allman Brothers. Brian C. wants Loose Ends by Hendrix. And Michael Nath wants the Rare Hendrix. Those are all sold. John, Nathan, Brian, and Michael. Some Girls, VG Plus, $49.99. VG Plus, $14.99. Unedited cover, no blotched out faces. VG Plus, $49.99. Like I said, some of these are black and white too. This one actually has the color on it. Haven't got the full story on that side of it, but that is VG Plus, $49.99. The John Lennon Collection. This is a John Lennon Hits Collection. VG copy, $12.99. VG copy, $12.99. Jim Nelson wants the Rolling Stones Some Girls. That's sold to Jim. Another copy of Get Your Yayas Out. This one appears to be a little bit older pressing. Definitely with the color of the label. I can tell you from the cover too. This is EX $32.99. EX $32.99. And another Stones album. For some reason, this one don't come in as often. It's only rock and roll. The Rolling Stones, it's only rock and roll. VG Plus $24.99. James Rayner, first on the John Lennon Hits Collection. And Wings Greatest Hits, VG Plus $17.99. VG Plus $17.99. Wings Greatest Hits. Okay, I cannot believe it's happening, but I'm going to make both of these $35 buy it nows. I have a feeling somebody's going to buy. Both of them's going to sell for the buy it now, $35. We'll find out right now. 38 special, buy it now. Sticks is $35 buy it now. People were on standby for Sticks. Tracy McFadden says, I'll take it for $35. That's so for Tracy McFadden. And now the promo copy of Special Forces. Let me know on that. And let me go ahead and pull John Porter Wings. So Tracy got Sticks. John Porter got Wings. And there were 3 people on Sticks and 3 people on 38 Special, as I thought. Jim Nielsen got 38 Special. David Tate. Sticks was Tracy, Kirk, and Tom in that order. And then Chris was 4th. And 38 Special was David, Jim, Steve. So David Tate got 38 Special. Those are all 35. Jamie Wings, Greatest Hits is already sold. And Blood Rock 3, Nathan Myers, was a VG copy. $9.99. Okay. Now, we have the Monsters of Rock compilation. And here's some of our Japanese 7-inch singles. Ooh, Kiss, Clapton, Elton, Aha, more Kiss. Let's see. Let's do some Monsters of Rock and the other Monsters of Rock, which is Kiss. Not doing one of their more so, quote, rock songs. I Was Made for Loving You. This is a $20 start. Kiss, I Was Made for Loving You, Japanese 7-inch single. It is unplayed, essentially. There is the 7-inch or 7-inch vinyl for that. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Disc. Kiss, I Was Made for Loving You, and Hard Times. A single from Dynasty. $20 start. There's the Japanese picture sleeve for that. $20 start on Kiss, I Was Made for Loving You. And we have Monsters of Rock. No Obi with this one. Always a great comp. Rainbow, Scorpions, April Wine, Saxon Riot, and Touch. This is a $25 start. It's a Japanese pressing. Vinyl, near mint, and pristine. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. It also includes the insert. No Obi with this one, unless it's tucked down in here. Uh-oh, we may have an Obi. We may have an Obi. It may be detached. Ah, here it is. May be hard to get back on there. It is unfortunately folded in half. Let me see. That might be a challenge to get on there. Some of them, like I said, once you take them off, you can get them back on there. Sometimes we just put them back in the jacket. We put them back in the jacket and just put them in like a 4mm sleeve, and it kind of presses them out. And but yeah, this does have the Obi, so there you go. Good start. Good bonus with that one. $25 start on that. $20 start on Kiss. I think. Let's see. Nathan Myers is going to claim the Blood Rock. Sell that to Nathan Myers. And what else do we have here? James is at 25 on Kiss. And let's see here. Monsters of Rock is from 1980. Golden Archive series. This is the Velvet Underground. Here's a VG minus. $29.99. VG minus. The Golden Archive series from MGM. If an artist was on MGM, they had, these are a compilation. Or, you know, whether it's hits or not. VG minus $29.99. And that is the Velvet Underground. Tim Buckley, Happy Sad. Tim Buckley is a VG plus. $29.99 for Happy Sad. And Crosby and Nash. Crosby and Nash is a VG plus. $14.99. Soundtrack, film score, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. That is VG plus $14.99. Sidney Poitier. Spencer Tracy. I guess that's just the score music. That is a VG plus $14.99. And Scorpions, we sold some new pressings of this late last night. VG copy $14.99. And this one has Rock You Like a Hurricane. I had to go and listen to those. I was getting that and No One Like You confused. Rock You Like a Hurricane. Looks like somebody's wrote on it. VG copy $14.99. Let's see. Okay, Kiss. The Kiss single. James Rayner 25. Monsters of Rock 25. Monsters of Rock 28. Michael Bohannon on the Tim Buckley. He was first. Rydell Martin on Guess. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. That's sold to Retro Class Entertainment, which is Rydell Martin. Brian C. first on the Scorpions. Randy second. James Rayner third. Joe Gabriel fourth. And Monsters of Rock is now at 30. Best of Blues Brothers. VG Plus $14.99. Best of the Blues Brothers. The Doors, LA Woman. Not a window cover. Vinyl is VG and about a VG cover, $14.99. If you don't have that record, that might be a good starter at least. $14.99 for The Doors, LA Woman. Boz Scaggs, Silk Degrees, VG Plus $14.99. Here's our nightly copy of Silk Degrees, $14.99. Monsters of Rock, 30. Now 35. Krista Moss wants Best of the Blues Brothers. Josh Ragland on LA Woman. Craig second. Tom Ulanowski third. Grover Washington Jr. Wine Light. EX copy. $12.99 for Wine Light by Grover Washington Jr. And Eagles, One of These Nights. $32.99 for the Eagles, One of These Nights. $32.99 for the Eagles, One of These Nights. Mickey Newberry, Frisco Mabel Joy. VG copy $14.99. That's on Elektra Records, 1971. And Deep Purple Burn, VG copy $12.99. Let's see what label. I feel a plastic baggie, which means probably wasn't going to be a first press reissue label. Is that what that's in? Is that a polyline bag? I was like, that's odd. That is a second Warner Brothers label. It's got a Harvest inner sleeve. That's why. That's not the original inner sleeve. VG $12.99 for Deep Purple Burn. Hendrix Smash Hits, a VG copy $14.99 for Smash Hits. And if you missed the first Are You Experienced, here's another one, a VG copy $14.99. Are You Experienced? There's another copy, VG $14.99. Wet Willie, the wetter, the better. Wet Willie is an EX copy, $14.99. Calvin's at 37 on Monsters of Rock. I really need a wrap-up kiss. I was giving that all the time I could. James Rayner has that for 25. Final call to James Rayner. And Angela Leckington on Boz Scaggs. Angela Leckington on Boz Scaggs. And Brent Rabley first on Wet Willie. Brent Rabley first on Wet Willie. See, Ed. Let's see. He was back there so quiet, didn't even know he's here. Let's see here. Brent Rabley on, make sure I got that right. So, what have I already pulled there? Let me see here. We got the Doors had already been pulled. That was for Josh Ragland, right? Yeah, Josh Ragland on the Doors. And let's see here. Craig Rutherford on LA Woman. Tom Ulanowski was next. I'm going to skip over Experienced and give Angela Leckington the Boz Scaggs. I have not pulled that yet. I think that's what happened. I pulled Hendrix first instead of that. Angela got Boz Scaggs. David Tate put H-U-H, but he meant Jimi Hendrix. And David, let me know if you want Hendrix, Are You Experienced, or Smash Hits. Yeah, let me know if you want Are You Experienced or Smash Hits. That is David Tate. He's got first dibs on that. Josh is second if he wants Experienced, Josh Ragland. And so no Hendrix pulled yet, but we're going to go ahead and tag Wet Willie for Brent Rabley. Steve Botsford was second. John Porter, VG copy, $12.99 on that. And David Tate does want Jimi Hendrix. And we only got to charge John Young a $5 restocking fee. John, you've racked up like $8,500 in restocking fees this week. John Porter said sold on Deep Purple. John Porter sold on Deep Purple. Kiss, I Was Made for Loving You, is sold to James Rayner for $25. Let me go through those one more time for sure. We have Monsters of Rock. John Young is going to be in shock when he gets his invoice this week. $8,500 in restocking fees. Calvin Ward is at 37 on Monsters of Rock. Just so everybody knows. Monsters of Rock is at $37. Going twice, going three times. Brent Rabley, we have already sold Tim Buckley. Tim Buckley is sold. Okay. Let me pull up Monsters of Rock. I'll go ahead and grab the next two, including Frampton Comes Alive. Frampton Comes Alive, and what else do we have in here? Joe Walsh Live. A couple of live albums. This Frampton Comes Alive looks amazing, though. I'm not used to seeing a cover this nice because the U.S. versions are always like heavy ringware, just something common. So I'll get those rolling in just a second. Let's see here. Jim Nelson's at 40 on Monsters of Rock. I'm going to decline your offer on Elvis, but I'm going to go through this bin one more time. John Denver is EX, $7.99 for Windsong. Elvis is a VG copy, $39.99. That's a 1956 mono. 1956 mono, $39.99. Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms, EX copy, $32.99. Those are usually not left behind. The Cars, Heartbeat City is a VG Plus, $24.99. Jimi Hendrix, The Cry of Love is a VG Plus, $24.99. Eric Clapton, Backless is an EX copy, $32.99. Heavy D and the Boys, VG Plus, $19.99. The Stones, Get Your Ya-Ya's Out. We actually got back-to-back copies now. We have a VG Plus, $24.99 and an EX, $32.99. Let me show you the different labels. There is that label, which is the VG Plus $24.99. And then this is the older copy, EX $32.99. See how that's like a lighter blue? Those are $24 and $32.99. The other Stones album is It's Only Rock and Roll, VG Plus $24.99. Velvet Underground, VG minus $29.99. Crosby and Nash, VG Plus $14.99. Grover Washington Jr. Here's a song to note on this one. Just the Two of Us, which features Bill Withers. That's an EX, $12.99. Tammy Hinkle wants the Stones. It's Only Rock and Roll. Jim Nelson is at 40 on Monsters of Rock. The other high bid was Calvin Ward. Let me make sure Calvin's in or out. Calvin says he's out. Final call on Monsters of Rock for 40, and I'll start 2 new auctions. Steve Botsford on Grover Washington Jr. Eagles, One of These Nights, EX $32.99. Mickey Newberry, Frisco Mabel Joy, VG $14.99, and I guess one of the few Hendrix left in here, VG $14.99. That's Smash Hits. Make sure you don't have a poster with it. That would be mind-blowing. No poster. The only offer I've got, which I didn't really say I was taking offers, but John has persistently been trying to buy this. John, I'll sell this to you for $35. If not, I wouldn't mind keeping it for a few days when we go through another Elvis bin, because that's one we don't get too often. Jim Nelson on CN. That was Crosby and Nash to Jim Nelson. And the Monsters of Rock was Rainbow, Scorpions, April Wine, Saxon Ride, and Touch. That's a final call to Jim Nelson, $40. I have a crate of new vinyl. That crate got pretty much wiped out. I've got new vinyl here to show you. A couple records left in there. Maybe some people change their mind. I've got 4 more crates of vintage. But let me go ahead and go through this crate of new vinyl. We can also remind you about some of the waiting lists that came in. And let's see here. We've got about 3 or 4 inquiries on Elvis. Let me see what's happened here. Tammy wants to know what songs on Hendrix. Craig just posted the track list for the Monsters of Rock. So here's what I'll have to do. John obviously has dibs on it, John Young. And then he asked, are there visible marks on Elvis? And then David Hilton said, is there any seam splits? Then Brent Rabley said he would take it for $35. Jeff Master said he would take it for $35. Allison said she would take it. So that puts Allison 5th now. And then Michael Manning, before that, wanted to know in the run address. So all of a sudden, there's 6 people buying Elvis. So that's what happens. So John Young, I've got this sold to about 8 people. I still see comments popping up. So, yeah, not a bad looking copy. I mean, it is VG. I think you've probably bought enough from this now to know what VG looks like. But, yeah, I mean, it's a VG copy. It does have visible marks right there and here. But this is one of those older records. This is one of those older records. Even in VG, it probably still sounds really good. This in high grade, if you found a near mint, I'm not even going to say a near mint. If you found a EX Plus / near mint and shrink wrap of this, you know, you're talking, I'd say I wouldn't want to let one go for less than 100. A really nice copy. So, okay, I think John's going to take that for $35 unless he changes his mind, and we have plenty of other people who want it. We have plenty of other people who want it. Okay, Monsters of Rock is sold to Jim Nelson. That's sold to Jim Nelson for $40. That's sold to Jim Nelson for $40. We will not have Record Store Day releases Saturday. We do not do Record Store Day. I'm going to do a sale here in the store. I've been stickering a lot of $4 records. It would never be in shrink wrap. They didn't start shrink wrap until '64. there you have it. I guess that makes sense. So if you do find that in shrink wrap, it's not an original pressing. That's good to know. Peter Frampton comes alive. This is going to be a $35 start. Now, what I was going to say is we're going to have an in-store sale. I really hadn't. We got a couple ads running right now. It's hard for me to run multiple ads on Facebook, but we are going to have an in-store sale Saturday. It'll probably officially be announced tomorrow or let's see, today's Friday. Well, I'll probably do it in the morning and let everybody know. And we'll probably have a lot of people come in here just because it's Record Store Day, but we're going to have like a quiet, unannounced sale for Record Store Day. And then next Saturday, we're going to have a sidewalk sale. It's going to be a huge advertised in-store sale, clearance, all kinds of stuff. And we're starting construction on our back part of our store on Monday morning. And because of that, we got to start getting stuff out of the back and doing sidewalk sales, etc. So that's what's going on. Okay, make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see here. Jimmy Ball says, sorry I missed it at the store. Jimmy, I know. Ed texted me, and he said, Jimmy Ball just left. And I was like, that's unfortunate. Next time, let me know when you're coming so I can be here. And anybody else that ever visits the store from out of town or out of state, give me a heads up so I can be here. Darren Meyer, let's see, if I can be here. Tony Shore, 35 on Peter Frampton. Darren Meyer, 35. And David Johnson, 36. Okay, so I hadn't even got to show it yet, but I figured this one would be popular because U.S. copies are always worn out. Frampton Comes Alive is a $35 start. This looks unplayed, as do most of these Japanese records we're going to have tonight. 2 LP, of course. Here's the Japanese insert, and then here's the really cool part. This is always, just worn out, these pressings. This has almost no flaws on the cover or obi, except a little bit of humidity discoloration right here on the inside part of the cover. Right here on the inside part of the cover. Where's the obi at? Okay, I see what's going on. The obi is tucked inside the cover. It don't actually wrap around it. It's like a flip, but it does have the obi. So, there you have it. Okay. Let's see. Peter Frampton, 36-38. Jim Nilsson, 45. Peter Frampton, 40. Tracy McFadden, another 40. And let's see here. Okay, Joe Walsh recorded live. Joe Walsh recorded live, another $35 start. Really cool obi with this one. This is Joe Walsh recorded live, $35 start. There it is, near mint and pristine. Well, that's the inner. Is that a book or an inner sleeve? That's the inner sleeve. And the Japanese insert. And we have a really cool obi on this one. It's got a shot of Joe Walsh there jamming on his guitar. And that's a $35 start. So those are up for auction. Peter Frampton is getting a multitude of bids. That's sold. New vinyl. We have the Doors. This is in mono. It does have a crease corner. $36.99. $36.99. This is actually an import that is on sale. This is in mono though. New and sealed and remastered. $36.99. The Doors self-titled. $36.99. Velvet Underground. $31.99. They've actually done these with a peeled, where you can actually peel the banana. I'm sure most of y'all won't do that, but if you want to like relive the past, you can. This is an Abbey Road Half-Speed Masters. I was trying to find the best new sealed copies of this I can find, and there's like 4 or 5 different ones in print, including a picture disc. I figured Abbey Road Half-Speed Master, this wouldn't be a bad sounding record, especially since any kind of vintage copy we hardly ever get. They're not cheap, and of course, if you get true first pressings, they're, $1,000 or more. Y'all seen me sell them on here at auction for north of $1,000. So that is $31.99, and that's mastered at Abbey Road Studios. Half-Speed Master of Velvet Underground. That is $31.99. Okay, Peter Frampton, 40, 45, 48, 45, 50. So Phil Atherton's at 50 on Peter Frampton. James Bragg's at 35 on Joe Walsh. The Doors, Velvet Underground. We have, actually this may be for Brian Hummel. I think he was waiting for this to come back in. Goose Undecided. Brian, let me know if you still need this. Goose Undecided. First pressing includes 4-page booklet, $28.99. I think that we might have been waiting for that to come in for Brian Hummel. John Miller on Velvet Underground. John Miller on Velvet Underground. Jim Nilsson's at 55 on Peter Frampton. Randy Scarborough also on Velvet Underground. Peter Frampton at 52. We've already got two $55 bids. and you sent me the other one with the seam split. Okay, so yeah, I think this was a replacement. So if you want to send that one back, I can send you this one, or if you're good with the one you have, if you don't want to mess with that, let me know, or we can send you a partial refund if we haven't already on the other, and somebody can buy this one. So $28.99. Okay, Iron Maiden, self-titled, $36.99. This is their self-titled debut album, remastered 1980, $36.99. Someone asked, do we ever get any hair metal? Yes, but it's like you got to make sure you're watching that night because it will all get gone. We'll auction it. It'll be in bins, but yeah, that is something we can't get enough of, and no one really wants to sell right now. I'm looking for hair metal collections all over the country. Just waiting for one to pop up. I'll go buy it, but they just don't pop up too often. Wasp, the Headless Children. Wasp is $39.99. For the people who have hair metal, they're not going to get rid of it right now. It's the most desirable metal and hair metal, most desirable genre you can get right now. Toby Keith is $28.99. Should have been a cowboy. 25th anniversary, $28.99. And Bon Jovi Crossroads, $44.99. Yeah, whenever we have hair metal, we'll have about twice as many people watching than we normally do. Everybody will have their phone ready, their laptops, they'll have headsets on, multiple devices, monitors. There'll be people watching from foreign countries. It's a big night whenever we get a hair metal collection in. So that's what happens. So make sure everybody's watching for that. Okay. Jim Nelson's at 65 on Peter Frampton. Final call. James Bragg has Joe Walsh for 35. Preston Denny wants Toby Keith. Preston was first to that. Toby Keith. Jim Nelson, I'll put you on a waiting list if that's okay. Did I miss something, Tanner?
You have
I do.
Well,
oh, was there some waiting list?
We didn't get a name on it.
Toby Keith, I put should have been a cowboy instead of somebody's name. Uh-oh. Does anybody know who was... Instead of putting a name here, I put shoulda cowboy. So I messed that all up. If anybody knows for sure they was on a waiting list for that, let me know because Tanner says he's missing a name. He is missing a name there. So sorry about that if anybody was on a waiting list. Jim Nelson, I'll go ahead and put you on a waiting list. We'll tag that one live for Preston. Yes, anytime we get a big collection, there'll be an ad like, I haven't posted that we're having a live Facebook record sale with like a hot picture in almost 2 months now. Because I think y'all know to tune in, we've been selling off the same couple collections, and we really don't need to take the time to even post that we're having sales. Y'all know to come here. So, no, I hadn't posted, but whenever we do get a big new arrival collection, y'all will definitely know about it. So, okay, what happened here? Toby Keith. Let's go ahead and sell James Bragg to Joe Walsh for $35. We had Wasp, Bon Jovi, Iron Maiden, A Matter of Life and Death. Iron Maiden is $49.99, A Matter of Life and Death. I've actually got 3 of those. Iron Maidens. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime, that's also $49.99. New and Sealed 2LP Remaster. I've only got 1 of those. The Number of the Beast from Iron Maiden, $36.99. And Cage the Elephant, Mellophobia. There was a waiting list for that. So, there was a lot of waiting lists. Mellophobia, Chris Kirkley. Chris Kirkley came in that. That is that was already sold to Chris Kirkley. I've got 1 left if anybody wants it. Trevin Price on Queensryche. Do you have any Elvis stuff? Every night. We've got a whole crate of Elvis records behind the counter. Later tonight we will show. John Porter wants Number of the Beast. Go ahead and tag this for Brian Hummel at $0. The Goose record. That's a replacement. And high bid on Peter Frampton. High bid on Peter Frampton is $68 of Tony Shore. If you're looking for Elvis records, we just sold Elvis Presley Elvis, a 56 mono. We just sold that. We probably have 2,000 or 3,000 Elvis records minimum. And we put out a little bit every night almost. So Troy Schwark on Matter of Life and Death. This was out of print for a while. The first time I ever got these in, I had a bunch and then they sold out. They got up to around $100 on eBay. And I ended up selling 1 on there because I couldn't sell 1 here. I kept showing it. But I got 2 of those left. Iron Maiden. Queensryche Empire, $49.99. We just had Operation Mindcrime. There is Empire. Pink Floyd Relics is $34.99. Pink Floyd Relics. And Kiss Monster, Kiss Monsters, $36.99. Peter Frampton's at $62, and Brian C. wants another copy of Iron Maiden, Matter of Life and Death. And we have Muddy Waters, the Real Folk Blues, Deluxe Gatefold Edition, the classic compilation album featuring some of his best songs, $24.99. Brian, did I already pull Brian C.'s Matter of Life? Yeah, okay, so Tammy Hinkle on Monster and James Bragg on Empire. That was Queensryche Empire, James Bragg. They're still bidding on Peter Frampton. If you're missing it, if you don't know what's going on, we got a 2 LP, of course, Frampton Comes Alive. Look how beautiful this cover is. He just announced he was going on tour, too. Very cool, A&M British Rock Series, no ring wear. Now, one of the coolest copies I've ever had of this, we had an autographed copy, and I sold it way too cheap to John Young. He's probably since had that authenticated and sold it for like $1,500. It sold way too cheap that night. We had an autographed copy of this at one time. I think I've got a couple more Peter Framptons that I haven't got to, autographs, that's back there from that Atlanta collection. Boy, speaking of the Atlanta collection, y'all remember all the magazines and stuff? I just recently rediscovered that over here in the corner of our store. We've got these huge tubs full of like Beatles magazines and Elvis magazines and collectibles and video games. I was like, man, I forgot I bought all this stuff. So that's what's going on with that. Jimmy LaCroix wants the last Iron Maiden, Matter of Life and Death. That's sold to Jimmy LaCroix. Peter Frampton is back in for Peter Frampton's back in for 66. 66. Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters is $24.99. Muddy Waters is $24.99. I have a feeling Michael Knapp's going to want that. How about Anthrax? Fistful of Metal. This is on colored vinyl. This is the full size LP. We've been having those 10-inch 4-disc. This is the original album, and this is on colored vinyl. That is $33.99. Tony Shore backing on Frampton at $68. Michael Nath says he'll take the Muddy Waters. That's sold to Michael Nath. Hall & Oates, this is Rock and Roll Soul Part 1, which is a fantastic Hall & Oates compilation. Single LP, this is $28.99. Rock and Roll Soul Part 1. Sarah Smile, She's Gone. Rich Girl, $28.99. And Cage the Elephant, Tell Me I'm Pretty. That's also $28.99. Sherry Darnell, I've already got one of those pulled for you. And then the Hall & Oates, we've already got one pulled for Mitchell, and we've already got one pulled for Aaron Jolly. Lots of restocks came back in. These are some great selling LPs we've recently restocked. Tony Riddle wants Anthrax, Fistful of Metal. Fistful of Metal. I always thought he was getting punched, but it looks like maybe he is, and they punched him from the back of the head. I don't know. I was looking at that the other day. I was like, I always thought he was getting punched, but I think it's come like completely through him. That's scary, isn't it? Can I buy the Hendrix album from the last bin? You can. Jim Nelson's at 72 on Peter Frampton. Tony Riddle wants Number of the Beast. I've already sold this one, but I probably have more in my Iron Maiden bin. Tony, give me 1 second on that. Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, $36.99. And we have How the Grinch Stole Christmas, green vinyl. This is the Boris Karloff narration. The original classic, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 21 minutes on side 1. And then you get all the music like You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. We've all heard that at some point or another. $36.99. Allison Campbell, I've already got yours pulled. And let me make sure we got a Jamie Butler, a Kiss Monster. I saw that on here somewhere. Jamie Butler, we got you taken care of. Kiss Monster, already pulled for that. Let's go ahead and grab that Tammy Hinkle, Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits. That's right here behind me. That is that's over Hammersmith. See if we have a single LP. He may want this one, though. I'll find out. This is sold to Tammy Hinkle, Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits, Peter Frampton, 72, Jamie Butler, we've got your Monster pulled. That sounds good right now. I'd like a Monster energy drink. Have you seen Spreading the Disease, Anthrax reissued? Well, there is a new State of Euphoria Deluxe Edition coming out this week, and I went ahead and ordered one. They're not cheap, though. It's like a 3 LP type deal. Troy wants a Grinch, and Allison Campbell on Bon Jovi. Now, okay, so Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. Troy, I don't have a single LP unless you want on the waiting list. I do have the newest Number of the Beast over Hammersmith, which is $64.99 if you're interested in that one. That is Number of the Beast and then over Hammersmith. That's a triple LP, $64.99. If you're interested in that, let me know. If not, we'll put you on a waiting list for a single LP. I can't believe I didn't have that. Tony's out on Peter Frampton, or I've sold out of that. Jim Nilsson has that for 72. Final call. Then I'm going to put up 2 new Japanese auctions. We have the Doors. This is in mono, $36.99. It does have a creased corner right here. If no one buys that, I'm going to send that back as well. That's unfortunate. Iron Maiden self-titled. That is $36.99. $36.99. Wasp is $39.99. Wasp is $39.99. Bon Jovi is $44.99. The best of Bon Jovi. That is their greatest hits. Crossroads, $44.99. Cage the Elephant, Melophobia, $28.99. Pink Floyd Relics is $34.99. Anthrax, Fistful of Metal, $33.99. The Hall & Oates Greatest Hits, $28.99. Cage the Elephant, Tell Me I'm Pretty, $28.99. And Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, $36.99. Susie wants the Doors. Let's go ahead and sell Peter Frampton to Jim Nilsson for $72. Let's sell John Miller, Iron Maiden self-titled. And let's grab a crate of new vintage records. Tony Riddle's going to let us know if he wants that other Iron Maiden. That leaves Grinch, Cage the Elephant, Hall & Oates, Anthrax, Pink Floyd, Cage the Elephant, Bon Jovi, and Wasp. I'm ready for a drink of water as soon as I set down this crate and put up another one. Let me see what's in this new crate of vintage stuff. Ah, it's also check condition. Aha. Let's see what we got in here. That's a scary looking cover. Is that an original? Wow, it is. Mono Stones coming up. Oh my gosh. John Lee Hooker. We might have to put that up for auction. Let's see here. Wow. Okay, I'm going to put this one up for auction just because it looks so cool. We have John Lee Hooker Traveling. This is a 1960 mono VG copy on VJ. This is a $40 start. Now, I haven't got to test play this. I actually didn't know we had it until this moment. This is one of those records that look VG, but it's going to sound really good. I mean, it feels like it's 200 gram. I'm sure it has deep groove, and that's a $40 start. That's Traveling John Lee Hooker. $40 start on that. Michael Knapp's already in at $50. Nice jacket, too. No splits. Not really any chips on it, too. And, yeah, and that's a 60 mono. Don't get those too often. John Lee Hooker, Traveling. All right, so there's auction number 1. I'm probably going to put a companion up there with a Japanese pressing. So Michael Nath has that for $50. That came out of the check condition bin I'm about to show. And let me put up a Japanese record right quick. Let's do the HSAS. I've got a Beatles red vinyl, red album, 62 to 66. Let me do HSAS, Through the Fire. Hager, Sean, Arison, and Shreve. And this is a $35 start. $35 start on this. It's going to look like that, near mint and pristine. $50 on John Lee Hooker of Michael Knapp. This one has the poster with it. Let me give you a quick peek on this one. There that is. Poster. $35 start on this. There is a Japanese flip. Japanese insert. Really nice cover with Obi. $35 start on that. Jim Nilsson's at $45. So John Lee Hooker's at $50. That's at $45. Let me grab a new crate of records. Did they ever make a 200 gram Highway to Hell? Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. Let's go through this crate here. It's really good. It's got some really good stuff in it. We have a crate. How much was Hall & Oates? That's $28.99. Hall & Oates is $28.99 for the new sealed Rock and Roll Soul Part 2. Okay, so let me make sure I didn't miss any waiting list. Scotty Hypes and James Rayner, you was on a waiting list for Aerosmith Pump. I've already pulled those. I hadn't announced that. Everything else I already announced. So I think that's the only one that I didn't announce. Cindy Carroll's at $55 on John Lee Hooker. Michael Garland, Hall & Oates is at $28. Before I get started, let me take a drink of water. I meant to much earlier. I really wish I had a monster something. I need some kind of monster, you know. Some kind of spirit. Some kind of, not spirit. I need something to raise my spirits. I guess spirits is what they call like wine or something. Don't want any of that right now. John Lee Hooker 55, John Lee Hooker 60, John Lee Hooker 64. Okay, let's see here. You mean sugar? Yeah. Yeah, I said spirit. I think I meant sugar. Where spirit come for? I don't drink, so. Joni Mitchell. Here we go. Joni Mitchell's a VG Plus $14.99. Joni Mitchell, VG Plus $14.99. This is a check condition bin. All new arrivals. Lynn County, The Break of Dawn. Lynn County's a VG Plus $14.99. Lynn County, The Break of Dawn, VG Plus $14.99. American Woman, The Guess Who. American Woman is a VG copy, $9.99. American Woman, VG $9.99. Three Dog Night, suitable for framing. A VG copy, $14.99. Three Dog Night, suitable for framing. Cheech and Chong, Big Bamboo, VG Plus, $24.99. Another with the rolling paper. Another with the rolling paper, VG Plus, $24.99. Fleetwood Mac, self-titled, VG Plus, $24.99. Someone named Snoopy on this record. They wrote their name right there above the F and the L. VG Plus, $24.99. And Pink Floyd, The Wall, VG Plus $44.99. Pink Floyd, The Wall, VG Plus $44.99. All right, let me read through a couple comments right now, right quick. Jim Nielsen's at 45 on HSAS. That's the one and only bid. That's going twice, going three times. John Lee Hooker, 55, 60, 64, 65, 70, 69. John Porter first on GW. That was, GW was the Guess Who. Guess Who, yes, that's sold to John Porter. The other auction is John Lee Hooker Traveling. That's a 60 mono VG copy, but one of those decently looking VGs. I've got Cindy Carroll at 70. I hadn't got to the bottom yet. Ron Stoltz wants Fleetwood Mac. That's sold to Ron Stoltz. Colin Butler first to Cheech and Chong. Brian C. second. Joni Mitchell is self-titled. It was Joni Mitchell, self-titled. And Ryan Anderson is at 65, now 75 on the John Lee Hooker. Cheech and Chong, good day to be selling Cheech and Chong. It's 420. We have Grateful Dead, Wake of the Flood, a VG copy, $24.99. It's a 1973 Monarch. It's also a VG minus cover, or VG minus cover. Wake of the Flood, Grateful Dead, VG copy, $24.99. John Lee Hooker's at 75. Grandmaster and Melly Male, or Male, White Lines, VG copy, $14.99. Alan Totten first on the Grateful Dead. Michael Bohannon second. LL Cool J, Jingling Baby, that's VG Plus $14.99. And Illegal Search, that's a 12-inch single from 1990. LL Cool J. Alan Totten got Grateful Dead. Michael Bohannon second. Rod L. Martin wants the Grandmaster Flash, or Grandmaster, and also LL Cool J. Melly Male is how you say that. Thank you, Craig. And Jeff, you were second on LL Cool J. All right, Jim Nelson gets the HSAS for $45. And they're still bidding on John Lee Hooker. Cindy Carroll's at $80 on John Lee Hooker. John Lee Hooker. Let's see. I've got a whole nother bin. The next bin there is new vintage arrivals, non-check condition. Let's keep pulling stuff out of our Japanese bin. How about a nice looking copy of Queen, the Game? Queen, the Game. This is really nice. Japanese pressing, as in, that's how it's going to look right there, near mint and pristine. This is a $55 start. There's one Japanese insert. There's the other Japanese insert. Nice cover of Obi. Looks like it has a little crease here. This foil cover is really bad about showing any little sign of wear. I mean, I think they came out of the factory looking like this sometimes. I mean, it's just the way it's made. That's a $55 start. John Lee Hooker 80. Tammy Hinkle, The Wall is VG Plus $44.99. Led Zeppelin is EX. This is an EX copy, $44.99 as well. EX $44.99. This is a 4-digit Pico Duck Led Zeppelin. Looks like a Presswell. It is. Or Richmond, 1971. That is $44.99. Tony's at 55 on Queen. And King Crimson is a VG $29.99 RI press. King Crimson in the Court of the Crimson King, VG copy, $29.99. John Lee Hooker info. Well, right now, the bid is at $80 with Cindy Carroll. Ryan's out, so it's down to Cindy. This is John Lee Hooker Traveling. It is a 1960 mono. Cool cover there. Of course, like I said, one of those VG copies that will probably sound a lot better than VG. We have a high bid on that at $80. That's going twice, going 3 times. Also going twice, going 3 times is Queen, the Game with Tony Shore at $55. I'm going to sell those at the same time unless another one gets a bid. Poco Delivering is EX, $7.99. Poco is $7.99. And Robert Palmer Double Fun, VG Plus $14.99. Robert Palmer Double Fun, VG Plus $14.99. Second win, Brian Augers Oblivion Express. Brian Augers Oblivion Express, $14.99. I just had a monster delivery. That is fantastic. That is exactly what I needed. I have not got a lot of sleep in the last 24 hours. My allergies are, it feels like, y'all know how it feels when your nose is on fire? And I haven't been doing any cocaine, so my nose is on fire. I'm surprised I've made it this far, but that's exactly what I needed right there. That's good. That's what I needed. Brent Raveley's at 85 on the hooker. 85 on the hooker. Queen, the Game is, go ahead and sell that to Tony Shore for $55. I've got another Queen record. Give me 1 second on that. The Babies, this is Broken Heart. The Babies is a VG Plus $14.99. The Babies, VG Plus $14.99. Little Feet, Dixie Chicken. Little Feet is a VG copy, $9.99. Are you allergic to cats? I am. I actually have been looking for a couch, and this guy on Marketplace said, no pets. And then I asked him again, do you have any pets? He said, no pets, smoke-free home, no pets. And then he said, I have some other furniture for sale, and he sent me a picture of a coffee table, and right next to it was a litter box. And I was like, well, not only am I not going to buy this couch from him, but he doesn't even deserve to get replied back to. But I did anyway. I was like, you know what? Thank you, but I'm just not interested anymore. I was like, man, if you're going to lie about not having pets, you might want to move your litter box and your, But yeah, I get around a cat, my face almost swells up. It's pretty bad. I have to anytime I go over to Seth's, they've got a couple cats running around, and of course they're pharmacists. So like when you walk in, they have a buffet of medication lined up for you. And so first thing I grab is some Benadryl. Queen Hot Space. We auctioned one of these off the other night. Here's another one. And we've actually since then had one we did as a buy it now. Queen Hot Space. Under Pressure with David Bowie. And like I said, this is an album that we just don't get too often. I actually found an import on new vinyl that should be here next week. But of course it's an import. It's not as cheap as most of them are. This is a $65 start for Queen Hot Space. The vinyl, near mint and pristine. There's the Japanese insert. There's the really cool inner sleeve. Some more artwork. I always like the cover on this one. Very cool. Queen Hot Space. Got some kind of like, I don't know, like almost like Andy Warholish type, the pop art kind of stuff going on with it. $65 start. Okay, Hookers, Cocaine. We've been talking about some weird stuff tonight. John Porter on Little Feet. John Porter was first to Little Feet. Josh Ragland second. And we have, let's see here. We have Power Wonderland. No. Balver Wonderland. VG $14.99. Let's see if Mike Massey's awake. Here is the litmus test. VG copy $14.99. Balver Wonderland $14.99. Broken Bones. Fiat, maybe. $29.99. That's on Combat Core. That's interesting. 1987 UK, $29.99. And what do we have here? VG $14.99. Looks like we got some more Whispers compilation. I doubt they're whispering on this stuff. One's called Lucifer's Mob, Angst, Honor Crust, Hell Crusher. Wow. VG $14.99. And Crosby, Stills, and Nash, CSN. That's EX $17.99. And Underground Hits. Black Flag, first one. Bad Brains. VG minus, though. VG minus $14.99. I think it's time to sell John Lee Hooker. That's sold to Brent Rabley for $85. If anybody wants to bid on Queen, it's a $65 start. Before, you know, we've had, everything has sold tonight. Everything has sold tonight, at least as a buy it now at auction. So if you want to get on this, now's the time. John Porter first on Underground Hits. Colin Butler was second. Stealing is a VG copy, $24.99. Well, this is an odd looking cover. Is this a Stones bootleg? This is a Stones bootleg. The last song is Cocaine, which is not a Stones song. These bootlegs, they put the titles under different. I mean, let's see. Can I Crawl Out Your Window? I mean, none of these are Stones songs, but they call them different stuff. Yeah, that's what that is. That's a VG copy, $24.99. That's a Stones boot. Stealing. Zoog's Rift, which is more like hardcore. VG Plus $19.99. Looser Than Clans, a historical retrospective, Greatest Hits Volume 1. That's a VG Plus $19.99. Zoog's Rift. Mortimer, VG $19.99. And what is this? Dark Side of the Moon, VG copy $29.99. This is a 1975 pressing. VG $29.99. They're usually all in VG condition. Colin Butler wants Zoog. If anybody wants Queen, it's a $65 buy it now. I'll go ahead and open that up for a buy it now, $65 if anybody wants it. Foreigner, Double Vision. Foreigner is an EX copy, $17.99. And Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Fever is a VG Plus $14.99 for Saturday Night Fever. Bob Dylan at Budokan. This has the poster with it. VG Plus $34.99. And Styx, The Grand Illusion, VG Plus $14.99. The Grand Illusion, VG Plus $14.99. December's Children, The Rolling Stones. This is a 66 mono, VG Plus $29.99. There's the red, that's what we like to see, red labels on Stones albums. That's a VG Plus $29.99, 66 mono. Tammy Hinkle wants Saturday Night Live. That's sold to Tammy Hinkle. Once again, Queen is a $65 buy it now. I'm going to put this away. If anybody wants this, you can buy it for a $65 buy it now. Ron Stoltz first on Styx. That was Cornerstone. Grand Illusion. That's sold to Ron Stoltz. And let me put Queen. Let me lay it over here on top of. Actually, we had the John and Yoko that didn't sell earlier. Okay, this next Stones, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the price first. A little bit tougher one to get here on mono. This is $74.99. It's a VG Plus, and this is the Rolling Stones Now. This is a 65 ARC press, mono red label, VG Plus $74.99. That's more of like the maroon red label. That didn't look too bad. Let me look at that again. Wow, that doesn't look too bad for a VG Plus, honestly, but I can see where he got that from. It does have a couple stray marks on it. So back-to-back Stones mono. More from the Japanese bin. It looks like we got some kind of deluxe Carpenters compilation, and we'll go ahead and bring out this bad boy here on red vinyl. These are always amazing. Whoop, I accidentally grabbed Power Station. That's okay. Well, that's not the Carpenters, but we'll go ahead and sell it. The Power Station is going to be a $30 start, 3-0, near mint, minus, pristine, Japanese. By the way, these are new inner sleeves from Japan. A lot of people like these and want these. If you can actually get the true Japanese ones, they're incredible for storing records. A lot of people prefer those over anti-statics. There is the Japanese insert. Robert Palmer was in the Power Station, if you didn't know that. Robert Palmer, $30 start. Couple spots on the Obi, but overall, a nice cover. That's at $30. We have Kelly Gabney in. And the Beatles, 62 to 66. Now, this is on red vinyl. Look how beautiful this is. Look how beautiful this is. Wow. $95 start. $95 start. The Beatles 62 to 66. Pristine. Candy red vinyl. I guess we could call it candy apple. That is 2 LP. There's the 2 inner sleeves. Now these didn't come with the discography book, the poster. These colored vinyl pressings didn't come with all that. It just came with this and the inner sleeves, which has the lyrics on it. And then a beautiful, flawless jacket. I mean, look at the corners. No spots on this one. Crisp Obi. $95 start on that. $95 start on that. Okay, so $95 on that. Power Station 30. Mr. Eddie, I will split the difference with you and sell you Queen for $60 if you're good with that. All right, and Power, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Power Station 30, Power Station 35, and Eddie Bruce, let me know if you're good with that on Queen. Anthology of British Blues Volume 2, a VG copy, $14.99. Anthology of British Blues Volume 2, VG, $14.99. White Light, White Heat, this is a VG Plus, $64.99, a 1968 West Coast press. And as you can tell, it does have some cover damage. Looks like it got wet at one time, unfortunately. White Light, White Heat from the Velvet Underground. Hey, it's got the original Verve inner sleeve with it. And blue Verve label, of course. Or John might have put this in here, because this doesn't look like it got wet. He might have found that in another Verve record and put that in there. I don't know that, but it's very crisp to be going with that cover. But that might have been what happened. Michael Nath said sold on the British Blues. Eddie Bruce also sold on this, Tanner, for $60. So Eddie Bruce got that for $60. Michael Nath got that anthology. Power Stations at $35 of Jim Nielsen. Kelly Gabney, you're out. Looking for a $95 start on the Beatles. Leo Kottke. This is a VG Plus $7.99. Now that's one we don't see as often. Leo Kottke 6 and 12 string guitar. Leo Kottke VG Plus $7.99. We have the gonads. Here's the testicles. Luckily, he's covered himself up. That is a VG copy, $49.99, a 1984 UK. Alan Totten's first on Leo Kottke. So Fred Carnell is in on Power Station at $36. Nicky Hopkins, no more changes. Nicky Hopkins is an EX copy, $17.99. Loretta Lynn, When the Tingle Becomes a Chill. Now, I don't see that one as often. VG Plus, $9.99. Now, I'm telling how many Loretta Lynn albums I have bought and sold. I don't see that one too often. When the Tingle Becomes a Chill. VG Plus, $9.99. John Young on Nicky Hopkins and John Porter on Loretta Lynn. So those are sold and sold. Mountain Twin Peaks is a VG Plus, $19.99. Mountain Twin Peaks, VG Plus, King Crimson. This is a 70 Presswell press, VG $24.99 on King Crimson. And we have Bob Dylan Street Legal, VG $14.99. Final call on Power Station. No one has said out yet. Mountain Price for John Porter. That is a VG Plus $19.99. 490% B12. That's what I'm feeling right now. I can feel it kicking in. Brian C. wants IF. That had to have autocorrect. He meant KC. KC usually autocorrects the IC or IF. I've seen that a lot. Stones, December Children's 24 and John Porter 16. Just hold those offers until I go back through this crate in just a second, okay? Just hold those offers. I'm not saying no, but just hold them until I get done with the crate. Bob Dylan's a VG copy, $14.99. Bob Dylan Bringing It All Back Home is a VG Plus, $24.99. Also a reissue label on that one. And Hall & Oates, that's Hall & Oates, the album, VG Plus, $14.99. VG Plus, $14.99 for Hall & Oates. Let me get my feed fixed. Joe Gabriel, I think you missed my claim on Dark Side of the Moon. Let me find that, make sure I didn't miss anything else. Tanner saw it. He's got your name written down. What happened to it then? I saw that too. I remember seeing that and I didn't pull it, but what happened to it? I'm not for sure. But Joe, let me go ahead and pull that for you. Sorry about that. It's one of those that I saw in my head, and now that I'm thinking about it, I know I didn't pull it. So that's so to Joe Gabriel. Thank you, Joe. No one else has bid on this. I don't know if I've lost some connections with people or what, but let's go ahead and sell Fred Carnell, The Power Station, for $36. Last record in here is Pink Floyd, Uma. That's a VG Plus $29.99. VG Plus $29.99. And Gavin, the Velvet Underground is a 68 West Coast VG Plus $64.99, and a VG minus cover with damage that you see visible here. That means the Beatles can be bought for $95 and probably no less right now. Maybe somebody's on standby for a buy now. That is the 2LP red vinyl Japanese pressing, and it is pristine. It is pristine. Yeah, the comments are coming a little weird. Like, I just scrolled back up and I couldn't find Joe Gabriel's comments. So, all right. So this is a check condition bin. You know what? I might be a little bit more open on this crate if anybody wants to make an offer. And then I've got 3 more crates of new vintage arrivals we're about to do consecutively here. It's already 10 o'clock because we got started late. I'm going to try to go through as much of those as I can. So hopefully you can stick with me. No break tonight. We started late. Hopefully in about the next hour, hour and a half, I can go through all of these bins. I've got 3 more. But let me read through these titles one more time. First, Ryan offered $65 for this Rolling Stones. I'm going to go ahead and sell it to him. Let me make sure that's not the one Ron offered $24 on. Ron, I still got your offer. Let me go ahead and take a look at that. I'll go ahead and sell that to Ron for $24. And then who offered $16? John Porter offered $16 for Mountain. I had $19.99 on that. Go ahead and sell that to John Porter. So Ryan Anderson got the Stones for $65. Randy Scarborough got the other Stones for $24. And then King Crimson is sold to John Porter for $16. And would be my first Stones album. Wow. Well, you've got a lot more to go. They've only put out like 2,000 or 3,000 different records. John Porter or John Young said $75 on the Beatles. I'll have to pass for right now. If anybody wants a price, let me know. We have Joni Mitchell, self-titled, Lynn County, Till the Break of Dawn, 3 Dog Night, suitable for framing. If you want a price, let me know. Pink Floyd, The Wall. This is not Dark Side of the Moon. Led Zeppelin 4, King Crimson. Now look at that cover. How could you say no for that? That is a VG29. Randy says I didn't comment for Stones. I thought you made an offer. Oh, that was Ron Phillips. My bad, Tanner. Ron Phillips. Tanner's got it. That was Ron Phillips, not Randy Scarborough on that. Todd Giles, Pink Floyd. The Wall was a VG plus $14.99. VG plus $14.99. By the way, everything in here is check condition. Everything in here is check condition. So what was the condition of Led Zeppelin? This was EX. It's not bad, and it's a 71. It has the Pico Duck and the Dead Wax. That's a 71 Richmond. That is available. Leslie offered $9.99 for Joni Mitchell. Go ahead and sell that to Leslie for $9.99. Orlando Martinez offered $25 for King Crimson. Go ahead and sell that to Orlando Martinez. And what else do I have here? Sean, what are you offering $14.99 for? Let me know. Let me know. Poco Delivering, EX, $7.99. Poco Delivering. Double Fun, Robert Palmer, VG plus $14.99. Second Wind, Brian Auger's Oblivion Express. The Babies and Palver Wonderland. That's a VG $14.99. Tammy, you're going the wrong direction on The Wall. Tammy offered $35 earlier. Now she offered $13. This is a VG plus $44.99. Think you got The Wall. Yeah, VG plus $44.99. I may have said that wrong. VG plus $44.99. And Ryan claimed it probably because he heard the wrong price. My bad. $44.99. $44.99. My bad. Sorry about that. No $15 copies of The Wall. VG plus, unless it was in really bad shape. The Babies is a VG plus $14.99. The Babies, and this is called Broken Heart. We don't have any auctions up. Let me change that right quick while we're recapping this thing. Let me grab that Carpenter's I meant to grab earlier. And now, a blue, a Beatles blue. We love the Beatles blue because we don't get this one as often. We have the Beatles 67 to 70. The Beatles 67 to 70 compilation on Apple. This is the EAP 9034B. Let's see what we have with this one. We don't have any condition notes on the vinyl, so it's nice. Near mint pristine. 67 to 70. There's one LP. That's a double LP. You have 2 inner sleeves with the lyrics. And this one has just the lyric book. So this is missing a discography book and a poster. Of course, the poster for the 67 to 70 is always tougher to get. So that is partially complete. And we'll start this for $55. $55, 67 to 70. For some reason, I feel like a lot of people need that one because they're always missing the blue one. And then we have a Carpenter's compilation. It don't really have a name other than it's called Super Disc, which usually means for these Japanese pressings, a compilation. The Carpenter's Super Disc. This is a 2 LP Carpenter's compilation. There's one LP. Here's the other. This is a $30 start. That's a 2 LP Carpenter's compilation. $30 start. $30 start. And it is a gatefold like this. Well, how does this work? You got to almost take the obi flips up. It's like a puzzle. The obi flips up, and then you can open it, and then it flips back down. $30 start on that. Okay, we have, so let me make sure the wall, I don't think anybody is claiming the wall for 35, right? I don't think anybody's claiming, or excuse me, $44.99. Let me get this straight. $44.99. It's a VG Plus copy of the wall. No one has claimed that at full sticker. I think we've had offers and Hail Marys on it, but no one has bought it. Let's see here. Jim Nielsen offered 9 for the babies. Sell that to Jim Nielsen for 9. John Miller offered 12 for Lynn County. Sell that to John Miller for 12. Then we have bids on the Beatles. 55, then 60. Fred says he's accidentally bought 3 reds when he needed a blue. That happens. Larry Smith's at 30 on the Carpenters. Beatles 61. Mitchell's out on the Beatles. 80's at 35 on the Carpenters. What happened with Part 2 last night? Part 2, we couldn't get connected to Facebook. Our feed would not connect to Facebook, so we was on YouTube only. But by the way, we won't be doing a Part 2 tonight. We're going to finish out what we have here. I got to recap this bin, though. We got 3 new crates to go through. Broken Bones. This is called FOAD. F-O-A-D. No telling what that stands for. That was $29.99. This other comp of some sort, CSN, Steelan, the Stones Boot, Mortimer, Foreigner Double Vision, Bob Dylan at Budokan, the Gonads, Bob Dylan Street Legal, Bob Dylan Slow Train Coming, Bob Dylan Bringing It All Back Home, Daryl Hall, John Oates, Pink Floyd, Umaguma, and the Velvet Underground. Velvet Underground. Okay, Beatles 67 to 70. High bid on the Beatles is at $80. High bid on the Carpenters is $45. If anybody wants prices on any of those, let me know. The Velvet Underground was a VG Plus on the vinyl. 68 West Coast. Has some cover damage. That is $64.99. The Rolling Stone Steeler Rudder Butter, that was VG $24.99. VG $24.99. Alrighty, let me see what I've got here. I got a new crate of new crate of vintage vinyl. These are not check condition. Let me do a quick peek through them. Make sure there's not like a record in here I've been looking for my whole life and it accidentally pops up. Well, so far, so good. Lightning Hopkins, Beatles, and Stones in here. There's Elvis. Let me pull that one out. We might just wait to keep that with the Elvis bin. Wow. Okay, I'm impressed so far. And if you're watching these, I'm the owner here, and I honestly don't know what I have. So, I go out and buy collections, these huge collections, and I don't know what I have. I have no idea what's in our back room. I have no idea. So, I'm a record collector myself. Cindy Carroll wants the Velvet Underground. Let's go ahead. I figured somebody would grab that at some point. We have a couple Velvet Undergrounds left over in our high-end bin that no one's grabbed. We had some the other night, too. Dallas had several copies. So, actually, wait a minute. She said, she claimed it, and then she said any seam splits. The cover is damaged. It's VG minus. It's water damage on the back, and I guess you'd have to definitely call those splits. So these are not check condition. No, these are not check condition. These are not check condition. Okay, final call on the two auctions. 45 on the Carpenters, 80 on the Beatles. Final call, and what did somebody just offer? Rudder Butter offered 18 for the Stones. I will say that because I have a ton of Stones bootlegs. A bunch. Sell that to Rudder Butter for $18. Okay, new vintage arrivals. We have for $29.99 Magical Mystery Tour. And this is a 1976 Capitol pressing. Very nice. Gatefold has the booklet with it. That's a 76 Capitol pressing, $29.99. Cindy Carroll says she'll take the Velvet Underground. That's sold to Cindy. A few more records and these auctions are up. Bob Dylan, Hard Rain, $34.99. So these are not check condition. Everything in here is EX plus to near mint minus. That's what that means, Troy, and anybody else kind of fairly new. So these I've cleaned and I've guaranteed these to be a higher grade. I've got these to be a higher grade. That way we can go through them really fast and you don't have to worry about the condition as much. It's kind of a format we've developed where we can go through hundreds of records every night and you don't really have to know the condition of every one of them. So like this, Hard Rain, Bob Dylan, that's what we consider EX plus near mint minus. I mean, it's a super nice, cleaned, no marks, nice copy. That's sold to Leslie Holt. Let's see here. Eddie's at 50 on the Carpenters. Eddie, I think you still got it at 45, don't you? Oh, no, Larry bid 48. My bad. Larry Smith bid 48, and Leslie got Hard Rain. But let's go ahead and sell the Beatles to Jim Nilsson for $80. That's sold to Jim for $80. They're still bidding on the Carpenters. I'll put up something new in just a second. We might get through a whole bin of Japanese tonight. Buck Owens and his Buckaroos, your tender loving care. There's your nightly Buck Owens, $9.99. John says he'll take the red Beatles for $80. You're getting closer. You are getting closer. You should pay full price for all the putbacks you've done. Rolling Stones Tattoo You, $34.99. What a nice copy. Start Me Up. Jeff McIntosh on Buck Owens. John Porter was second. Bob Dylan Self-Portrait, $44.99. This was pressed in 1970. Self-Portrait, $44.99. This is the one that night that textured cover. I think we got confused on the pressings, and I was calling it a reissue. And in my hands, I had a first press. That's a really nice looking copy, $44.99. Bob Dylan, John Wesley Harding. This should be on a Columbia 2i. He said 67 Santa Maria. It is another really nice copy, $44.99, 67 Santa Maria. So Buck Owens and Buck Owens has already pulled. Jonathan Edwards Rocking Chair. Jonathan Edwards is $14.99. And Calico. Calico is $19.99. I don't know a lot about Calico. What do we have here? The Baddest blank or B blank 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 H. I think we probably all know what that means. $29.99. $29.99. This is a full album, 2LP gold stamp promo, $29.99. Arcana, House on Fire, picture disc. That's something to do with Batman. That came from the Dallas collection. I remember seeing that. $19.99. That is something from, was that featured in Batman or something? Let's see. BRS mix from the Warner Sunset. Music from and inspired by Batman and Robin motion picture. There you have it, $19.99. Who was the other bidder beside Eddie? Larry Smith, let me know if you're in or out. Larry Smith, let me know if you're in or out. I see your offer for the Beatles. Let me know if you're in or out, though, on the Carpenters so I can sell that. You're out at 50, and Larry has offered 85 for the Beatles. The Eagles, the long run, $24.99. The Eagles, the long run, $24.99. And Lightning Hopkins, Volume 2, $19.99. This is the one I was just talking about. It's one of those Everest Archive compilations, $19.99 for Lightning Hopkins. Oh, this is odd. Sentimental Journey, Frank Sinatra. Never seen this before, $14.99. Sentimental Journey, Frank Sinatra with this gold foil cover, $14.99. Michael Nath on the Lightning Hopkins. Let's sell Michael Word that EX copy of Zeppelin from the last crate for $40. He's getting a nice OG press there. One of the biggest selling albums of all time has When the Levee Breaks on it. Wow. That's worth $40 just to listen to that one song. That's sold to Michael Word, $40. Michael Nath got Lightning Hopkins. Larry Smith's at 55 on the Carpenters, and Jeff McMaster's on Frank Sinatra. Eddie says he's out on the Carpenters. Larry Smith has that for 55, going once, going twice. Larry, I was wanting 95 for the Beatles. You said 85. It looks like you're going to end up winning the Carpenters. I'll do $90 on the Beatles. And then if you pass, we'll see if John Young wants it for 90. That's a $5 price reduction. I thought he would get a bid or somebody would buy it right off the bat. New Japanese auction. Eric Clapton, Money and Cigarettes. Eric Clapton, Money and Cigarettes. Japanese press, $25 start. $25 start. That is near mint and pristine. Near mint and pristine. Has the Japanese insert with it, and that's a $25 start for Eric Clapton. Oh, there's another Japanese insert. Clapton, Money and Cigarettes. That is $25 start. The Doors Soft Parade, 1979 AR press. 79 AR press, $34.99. Clean copy, red Electra label, $34.99. Soul to Soul, Stevie Ray Vaughan, that's in shrink wrap, $64.99. Well, that looks nice. It's in shrink wrap too. $64.99 for Soul to Soul, Mr. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Gary U.S. Bonds, dedication, $9.99. Radio, Rock On, featuring the smash hit, You Can't Change That, $9.99 for Radio. Newport in New York, 72. Newport, New York, Jimmy Smith, Zoot Sims, B.B. King's on here. That is volume 5 on Cobblestone, $14.99. And Newport, New York, volumes 1 and 2, Jam Sessions. That is $24.99. Final call on Eric Clapton at 25. Rydell Martin wants Radio. That's sold to Rydell Martin. And Newport, New York, volume 6, Roberta Flack, Curtis Mayfield, Herbie Mann, Les McCann, $14.99. Now, that's some good compilations there. There's volumes 1 and 2, 5 and 6, Automatic Man, $19.99. Automatic Man, self-titled, $19.99. Michael Nath wants volume 6. Let's sell the Carpenters, the Larry Smith. Larry Smith, is he a first-time buyer, by the way? Okay, Larry has bought from us before. Carpenters is sold to you for 55. Eric Clapton sold to Brian C. for 25. And then Larry Smith, just let me know if you want that for 90. The highest offer I've received from it is from him for 85. I'm at 90. Let's do Michael Schenker Group next, and I still got a whole stack of Japanese 7-inch singles here. Yes. Ooh, Owner of a Lonely Heart. Let's do that one. Kiss. Very cool Elton John. Aha. And let's do 2 singles. But we'll do that one next. Let's go ahead and do this other Michael Schenker Group. And let's do Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart. All right, so Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart is a $20 start. The B-side to that is Our Song. This is near mint, Japanese vinyl. Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart. Their classic song from the 80s. Not the normal Yes that we're accustomed to. More of like a pop sound for them, but it was by far probably their biggest hit next to Roundabout. So, or I've Seen All Good People. That's a $20 start, Owner of a Lonely Heart. And Michael Schenker Group is a $35 start. Michael Schenker Group. This is a near mint and pristine Japanese pressing. There's the original inner sleeve. There's the Japanese insert. And that's a $35 start. That's Michael Schenker Group. $35 start on that. Okay, still got a whole bin of new arrivals, and I got 2 more after this. I'm going to have to get into high gear. Brian Augers, Oblivion Express. Brian Augers, $19.99. Tommy Bolin, Private Eyes, $19.99 for Tommy Bolin, Private Eyes. Jimi Hendrix, Last Night, $29.99 for Jimi Hendrix, Last Night, $29.99. Troy's in on Michael Schenker at $35. Hendrix Smash Hits, whoa, a sealed copy, $124.99. Wow, 1969, sealed with poster, of course. A sealed copy, $124.99. Now that's pretty cool. It's got a corner ding up here and down here. That's really cool, though. That's very cool. Okay, Michael, let's see. Michael Schenker, 35. Michael Nath, Jimi Hendrix, John Young, Smash. And I bet on Last Night. Let me figure out what that is. I bet on Last Night. And then, so, Michael Nath, you're first to Hendricks. That was probably, I bid on last night. I was thinking about you were talking about like last night. And then John Young. What's the odds this is put back? What's Vegas saying? This is sold to John Young temporarily. Hendricks, historic Hendricks, 2-record set, $39.99. Historic Hendricks, 2-record set, $39.99. Ella in Berlin, Mac the Knife, $29.99. Ella Fitzgerald, that's on Verve, $29.99. Michael Nath wants historic recordings. Final call on Michael Schenker Group. Final call for yes. Grand Funk Live, $29.99. Grand Funk Live, $29.99. Buck Owens, didn't we just have this one? Your tender loving care. There's another copy. Who was back up on the other one? $9.99. Maybe John Porter will get that one. There's another copy of it. Family Style, Stevie Ray Vaughan, $44.99. That's the Vaughan brothers, $44.99. John Porter, first on Buck Owens. Let's go ahead and tag Troy with Michael Schenker Group. If anybody wants yes, we'll do this for a $20 buy it now. That's Owner of a Lonely Heart, Japanese 7-inch single. Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart. Let me get this back in its sleeve. $20 start on that. Let me see what else I've got over here. Neil Young, Hawks and Doves, and Santana. We'll put these two up right quick. We have Neil Young, Hawks and Doves. That's a $35 start. This one looks a little bit different than the U.S. cover. I think it has different color scheme or something. But there's the jacket. Before I put that down, there's the Japanese insert. There's the original inner sleeve. This is a $35 start. It is near mint and pristine. Japanese pressing of Neil Young, Hawks and Doves. There's a $35 start. Let this look slightly different than what the U.S. cover looks like. And we have Santana Moonflower. Santana Moonflower is a $35 start as well. $35 start on these. Santana's a 2LP. That is near mint pristine. There's the original anti-statics that came with it. There is, well, this has got a lot. Well, it's got two really nice printed inner sleeves and then a Japanese insert. And then you got a gatefold cover with Obi. Those are $35 starts. So Santana and Neil Young. Alice Lowry gets the Stevie Ray Vaughan Family Style. Got Live If You Want It, the Rolling Stones, $34.99. Got Live If You Want It, the Rolling Stones, that is $34.99. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 2, $39.99. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 2. Steve Morse Band, Stand Up, $14.99. Steve Morse Band, Stand Up, $14.99. And Grand Funk, Shine On, $39.99. With the 3D glasses, Grand Funk, Shine On, $39.99. The Duke Ellington Songbook, Ella Fitzgerald, $24.99. Duke Ellington Songbook, Ella Fitzgerald, $24.99. Dixie Dregs, Free Fall, $12.99 for Free Fall. Dixie Dregs and Rolling Stones 12 by 5. This is in shrink wrap. It's a very nice stereo press. That's in shrink wrap, $39.99. River City Street Band is $9.99. River City Street Band, $9.99. And Jimi Hendrix, Mr. Pitiful. Mr. Pitiful. That's a picture disc. Pitiful is a picture disc. Wooly Bully, Left Alone, Have Mercy, Stand By Me. That's sold to Michael Nath. And John Porter wants to know the Dixie price. Let's go ahead and tag that for Michael Nath. Dixie Dregs, that was $12.99 for Dixie Dregs, John Porter. Sheena Easton, Madness, Money, and Music. Sheena is $9.99. We have a Billie Holiday, The Golden Years box set, $34.99. Michael Nath, the Hendrix was $34.99. John Porter sold on the Dregs. Billie Holiday's $34.99. Let's see here. Where's that? That's sold to John Porter. Sean Kelly on Sheena Easton. That's sold to Sean Kelly. Still looking for $35 starts on these. If they don't get bids, we'll make them a buy now in just a moment. John Butcher Axis, Stare at the Sun. John Butcher is $19.99. Stanley Clark, If This Bass Could Only Talk. Stanley Clark is $12.99. In shrink wrap, Michael Nath first on that Billie Holiday box. Nigel Del Rocket was second. We have something here. Why does this look so familiar? Bobby Darin. Almost said Harry Belafonte, but I would have been way off. Same kind of genre, I guess. Bobby Darin, Earthy. Earthy. $24.99, 1963 mono. Alan Totten, first on the Stanley Clark. Fred's in on Santana at 35, so final call on that. I'm about to sell that to him, and then we'll make Neil Young a buy it now. Sammy Davis Jr., Stop the World. Sammy Davis Jr., Stop the World, the original cast album, 1978. $9.99, $49.99 for the Kinks' Kingdom, a well-respected man. Original mono, tricolor steamboat label, $49.99. That's a 65 mono from the Kinks. Femme Fatale, Waiting for the Big One, $12.99. Femme Fatale. We have Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks, 2,000 Years. That is $14.99. And John Lennon, Rock and Roll. This is a Music for Pleasure import copy, $26.99. That's on Parlophone from Belgium. Ken Crooker wants Femme Fatale. That's sold to Ken. We're going to sell Fred Santana for $35. If anybody wants Neil Young, it's a buy it now for $35. I'm just going to read through these titles one more time. Let me know if you want prices. Leslie wants JL. That's John Lennon. Brian C. was second. And then Jesse Hood wants Mel Brooks. I'm going to read through these titles, so if you need a price, let me know. I'm going to do this speedy so we can go ahead and go through that other crate of new vintage arrivals. And then I've got another half crate. So lots more to go through here. I'm really surprised no one got this. It's not a first press, not a mono, not even original stereo, but it's not a bad vintage copy of Magical Mystery Tour for $29. That's the kind of Beatles albums everybody's always looking for. Nice jacket too, $29.99 for Magical Mystery Tour. If anybody needs that, I mean, new copies are more than that. That's a very clean, what we call vintage. Rolling Stones Tattoo You, nice copy of that. Bob Dylan, Self-Portrait, great album still left in here. John Wesley Hardin, also by John Dylan. Jonathan Edwards, Rocking Chair. Calico, we have Trema, is that what that was? The Arcarna picture disc, which has a song from Batman and Robin on it, a special mix. Eagles, The Long Run, The Doors, Soft Parade. Calvin Ward offered $60 for Stevie Ray Vaughan. That was $5 off sticker. We're going to sell that to Calvin for $60. Gary U.S. Bonds is $9.99. The Rolling Stones price, RS price. RS was Tattoo You, $34.99 on that Fred Carnell. We have a couple of Newports in New York. We have Volume 5 of Jimmy Smith, B.B. King, Clark Terry, Kenny Burrell. And then we got Volumes 1 and 2. That is $24.99. That's Stan Getz, Dizzy Gillespie, Milt Jackson, Max Roach. Naming some names off there. Let's see here. Automatic Man, $19.99. Closer to It, Brian Auger's Oblivion Express. Tommy Bolin, Private Eyes, $19.99. And Mac the Knife, Ella Berlin, $29.99. We'll see you. Newport Volume 5. That is $14.99, Paul Gill. $14.99. $14.99 on that one. Magic Mystery is also 7-inch. Have you ever seen that? Yes, I actually have one in the back. I've got one in the back. I've been working on a surprise crate of really good 45s. I'll make an announcement when I show all those, but I'm building like this crate of really good 45s. Paul Gill said sold on that. By the way, if anybody wants Neil Young, that's a $35 buy it now for Hawks and Doves, if anybody was interested in that. Grand Funk Live is still available. So is Rolling Stones Got Live If You Want It. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits Volume 2. Steve Morse Band and Grand Funk Shine On. David Hilton said Ella and Berlin 25. Go ahead and sell that to David Hilton for 25. Let's do Ryan Rice Trina for 20. Let me see what I had on that Ryan Rice. Trina. I'll do that for 25, Mr. Rice. We'll do the split the difference if you want that for 25. The Duke Ellington Songbook, Ella Fitzgerald. Rolling Stones 12x5, River City Street Band, John Butcher Axis. We have Bobby Darin, Sammy Davis Jr., and the Really Nice Kinks. There. All right, here. Let's see what we have. So, Kinks, Sammy Davis Jr., Bobby Darin, John Butcher Axis. River City Band, The Stones, Ella Fitzgerald, Trina, Grand Funk, Steve Morse Band, Dylan, Stones, Grand Funk, Private Eyes. Scott, great album. Yeah, what's that song on here I like? Coachy. What's it called? Post Toasty. Post Toasty. I think that's the one I like on there. Ryan Rice said sold on. That was Trina for $25. I'm about to put up that new crate. Let me know if anybody else wants to make an offer on anything in there. Tammy said Beatles both for $110. I think she's talking about this, which is the Red album, which I wanted $90 for, and Magical Mystery Tour was $30. That would be $120. And I don't know if I want to discount Magical Mystery Tour. $120. Let's see here. $115, and that's taking $25 for that one, and that's like a surprise to me. That'd be $115. $115. All right, I got another crate here. Let me see what's in it, and then another half crate. Oh, let's see here. Wow. Okay. All right. All right, so sell Tammy this, put that in for $90, and we'll put Magical Mystery Tour in for $25. Nigel said he'd do $35 on the Kinks Kingdom. Nigel, that would be $45. $45 if you want that. All right, new vintage arrivals. Let's see what we got here. I'm usually not showing new vintage arrivals at 10:30, but if you're still with me, good deal. We might have to do a recap of some of this again tomorrow night as well. Elvis Presley, greatest hits of 56 and 57, 1999. That's a Reader's Digest. Don't see that too often. Club Paradise soundtrack. Jimmy Cliff's on there. Looks like Elvis Costello. That is $14.99. It does have some cover damage. UK is $19.99. We have Buckwheat. Moving on. Buckwheat is $14.99. Moving on from 1971. Bob Dylan, Empire Burlesque, $34.99. And Paintings. Mike Quattro Jam Band. Paintings is $24.99. Mike Quattro. This is Newport in 72, volumes 3 and 4. $24.99. Art Blakey, Gary Burton, Jackie Bard, Dexter Gordon, Elvin Jones, Roland Kirk, Gary Mulligan, Sonny Stitt. That's Jimmy Smith. Lots on that. Volume 3 and 4. Fathers and Son. This is really good. Muddy Waters, Otis Spawn, Michael Bloomfield, Paul Butterfield, Buddy Miles. That's $39.99. Sorrel's Pickard. I think that's Pickard. $12.99. John Butcher. Pictures from the Front, $14.99 for John Butcher. Bob Dylan with Hype Sticker featuring Lay Lady Lay, $39.99. Ooh. A Columbia 2i Bob Dylan Nashville Skyline. Beautiful vinyl. Beautiful violet with the Lay Lady Lay Hype Sticker. What in the world? Scott Smith on John Butcher and John Young on Bob Dylan. Well, he's fast tonight. He's usually awfully quiet, asking for matrix numbers and stuff. Scott Smith, I got you for John Butcher. Now, I set this out of the crate. It's another Dylan album with Hype Sticker. I need a $45 start for it. Contains giant full-color poster. And guess what? There it is. $45 start for this. This is Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. Beautiful copy. Has the poster with it. $45 start. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits. Music from the Body. That is Roger Waters from Pink Floyd. $24.99. Music from the Body. Roger Waters. $24.99. Pink Floyd Metal is $64.99. That's a 71 Los Angeles press. Pink Floyd Metal. $64.99. Jeff McMaster first on Roger Waters. Baby is sealed $29.99. It's numbered Mono Baby promotional record, Lone Star Record Company, DJ copy not for sale. $29.99. Gene Miller in Hollywood, Sun Valley Serenade. That is sealed. $19.99. The Rolling Stones. This is Beggar's Banquet, and if you're not familiar with the cover, this is a new pressing though. 2001. It's a 2003 pressing, sealed, $39.99. But that was the original cover for Beggar's Banquet, or at least the original intended cover. High Tide and Green Grass, the Rolling Stones, $34.99. High Tide and Green Grass, $34.99. This is probably my favorite, next to Hot Rocks, one of my favorite Stones records to put on and listen to. Has all the pictures with it. Satisfaction, The Last Time, Heart of Stone, Get Off My Cloud. And of course, they're Good Times, Bad Times, a little bit different from that. Looking for a $45 start on Dylan, by the way. Lionel Richie is $12.99. Lionel Richie self-titled, $12.99. And Hey Jude is a 1976 Capitol pressing, $29.99 for Hey Jude. Excuse me, $29.99. Let me put up a new Japanese auction. We have a Culture Club, which we are going to do a $35 start for if you don't have one already. That's color by numbers. Their hit song Karma Chameleons on that. That is near mint pristine. It has all the inserts with it. That's a $35 start. Hey Jude is $29.99. The Beatles' Early Years is $19.99. That's a compilation. The Early Years, $19.99. And then there's the Early Years Volume 2. The Early Years Volume 2 is sealed, $24.99. Julie London is a 1958 stereo press, $34.99. Julie London, nice copy, $34.99, and that's a 58 stereo press. Elvis Presley, The Sun Years, $24.99. The Sun Years. Hot Rocks is a 2013 pressing on clear vinyl. 2013 pressing on clear vinyl. Boy, that's heavy. That feels like 200 gram. Look at the edge on this one. That's $49.99. Usually those clear vinyl pressings, from what I've always seen, sound good. Eric Carmen, Boats Against the Current. Eric Carmen is $9.99. Stone Ground. Stone Ground is a 1971 white label promo, $19.99 for Stone Ground. Bob Dylan and the Band at Royal Albert Hall, bootleg, $44.99. The Rolling Stone, Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor. Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor. That's its cover variant E. Cover variant E, $39.99. The Elvis commemorative album, we was talking about that last night or the night before. Limited edition, that's on yellow vinyl, $29.99. The Elvis commemorative album, $29.99. Leslie Holt wants the Beatles' Hey Jude. I was waiting for somebody to grab that. That's sold to Leslie Holt. We have Love Letters, Julie London, $14.99. Love Letters, Julie London, $14.99. Jacob Mangason, Special Treatment. Jacob Mangason, that is $9.99. Jacob Mangason, $9.99. Sounds of Mod Contact, $16.99. Sounds of Mod, that's a Columbia Special Product compilation. Bob Dylan, Bobby Vinton, Chad and Jeremy, the Yardbirds, and the Dave Clark 5. That is $16.99. Sounds of Mod. Do the Love, Bob Thiel? Is that what that says? $9.99. Bob Thiel and his New Happy Times Orchestra, $9.99. Allman Brothers, Beginnings, $34.99 for Allman Brothers Beginnings. Keith Richards, Talk is Cheap, $19.99 for Keith Richards, Talk is Cheap. Okay, if anybody does want the Beatles, or the Bob Dylan with the poster, that is a $45 buy it now. If anybody wants Culture Club, color by numbers, that's a $35 buy it now. I'm going to put Dylan back in the crate. Culture Club is a $35 buy it now. If you missed it earlier, we have Neil Young, Hawks and Doves, also for a $35 buy it now. 35 and 35 on those. Let me put that away right quick, just so I get it back in its sleeve. Yes is a $20 buy it now, Owner of a Lonely Heart. And then earlier, one of the first things we had was the John Lennon Live Piece Toronto with the calendar, and that was a $65 buy it now. That did have the calendar with it. and that was a $65 buy it now. John and Yoko, Live Peace, Toronto. Okay, so that's the only thing tonight that have not got bids, those 4 albums. Cream, the best of Cream, $34.99. Cream is $34.99. Wings at the Speed of Sound, shrink wrap and hop sticker, $24.99 for Wings at the Speed of Sound. Another Santanic Majesty's Request, $39.99. Stereo copy. Have yet to find a mono, $39.99. Justin Hayward Songwriter, $14.99 for Justin Hayward. Led Zeppelin Presents, $33.99. That's a 1976 PRC press, $33.99 for Led Zeppelin Presents. Stephen Stills 2 is $19.99. Stephen Stills 2. The $1 Million Quartet, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, and Elvis Presley. That's a 1986 Portugal press, $29.99. Colin Butler wants Presents. And the #1 hits, Elvis, with poster, $24.99. Elvis #1 hits. That's an RCA record, and it has the poster, $24.99. Let's see here. Bob Fee was married to Teresa Brewer. Colin got Presents. Can anyone explain the vegetables covers? That's a good question. Dylan with the poster and Muddy for $65. Are you talking about, I know you're talking about this, are you talking about the Fathers and Sons? Father and Sons, 45. Is that the one you're talking about? Let me know before I think on that one. Joe Marino said price on Bob. That was $9.99. $9.99 on that. Elvis sold to Allison Campbell. Tammy Hinkle, you're second. Michael Naff, I will do 65. I'll need to do 75 on those two. 75 on those two. Okay. Let me read through titles on that one more time. If anybody needs any prices, let me know. There's some killer records left in this crate and the last crate. This crate and the last crate have some great records. I got another half crate of new vintage arrivals to show. I've got another half crate of new vintage arrivals to show after we recap this one. Elvis Presley Greatest Hits, 56, 57. Club Paradise soundtrack, UK. We have Buckwheat Moving On, Bob Dylan Empire Burlesque, and Paintings, the Mike Quattro Jam Band. Newport, New York, Jam Sessions Volume 3 and 4. Sorrell's Picard, Pink Floyd Metal, Baby was Sealed, Glenn Miller, the Rolling Stones reissue Sealed, High Tide and Green Grass, Lionel Richie, the Beatles, and the Beatles. I had Dylan at 45. That's actually, yeah, I had Dylan at 45, and I had this at $39.99. If you want that by itself, $35. $35, I was doing 10 off if you bought both of them, 5 off if you buy that one, Fathers and Son. I'll do 35 on that. John Miller wants Big Hits. Was that Elvis? Let me see here. Big Hits. Beatles. Oh, that's the Stones. That's so to John Miller. Julie London. Elvis, The Sun Years. The Stones. Stone Ground. Eric Carmen. Bob Dylan and the Band. Still got In Through the Outdoor. Led Zeppelin. Elvis commemorative album. Julie London Love Letters. Jacob Manguson. Sounds of Maud. Allman Brothers in the Beginning. Or Beginnings. Keith Richards. Cream, great compilation. Wings, shrink wrap hop sticker. Stones, Justin Hayward. Stephen Stills, $1 Million Quartet, Andrew Gold, and Do the Love, Bob Thiel. Do the Love, Bob Thiel. Hot Rocks price, James Rayner. That was a new and sealed Hot Rocks. That was $49.99, or not sealed, excuse me. It's a 2013 clear vinyl. 2013 clear vinyl. Sell both of these to Michael Nath for $70. Dylan and the Fathers and Sons. Sell those to Michael Nath for 30, or excuse me, 70. 70. Tammy Hinkle wants an Elvis deal, and James Braggs wants a Stones bundle. Let's see here. I have in this bin Elvis. Another Elvis. There's the Stones. We have another Elvis. I think there's 3 Elvis records in here. There are greatest hits of 56 to 57, Sun Years, and the commemorative album. Tammy, those will be 15, 20, that's 35, 40, $60. And that is 5, 5, and 5 off of those. That's for those 3, $60. Condition Led Zeppelin. It is nice. It's got the original brown bag. No condition notes on the vinyl. That's cover variant E. Let's take a look at what cover variant E looks like. Well, might have to take it out of that. There's the cover variant E. Nice. Original brown bag. That's $39.99. Okay, and then condition on Led Zeppelin. I just answered that. James Bragg, the Stones album in here is Hot Rocks, Beggar's Banquet, and that, forgot about that one, Satanic Majesty's Request. Metal is a 71. Metal is a 71 Los Angeles press, $64.99. Nice copy. And then James Bragg, these 3 will be, if you want these, those will be 70 and 115. 115. 115 on those. 115 on those. And then Led Zeppelin was $39.99. We'll label, it's actually a Portugal pressing. It's 1986 Portugal, $29.99. It's on Sun, but that's an odd Sun label, black and white. It's because it's from Portugal. James Bragg said sold. And Tanner, that would have been 35, 35, and 45 on those. 35, 35, and 45 on those. Tammy Hinkle, Elvis is, let's see, what did I just say? This is 25 and 20, 45, 50, and 60. Those are 60. That is the discounted price. 60. These are new arrivals. Have you seen how we've been selling Elvis records lately? Right, Tanner? $60. I'm giving you like 20% off first time showing them. $60 for the 3. How could you say no? Elvis is the hottest artist in the world right now. He's the king of rock and roll. Okay, I've got another crate of new vintage arrivals. Let's go through them. New vintage arrivals. We put these out in the store and people just come in and buy the heck out of them at full sticker price. We don't even have to discount them. Tammy said sold. If anybody wants to make an offer on that, what was that? Pink Floyd Metal, whoever asked about it, let me know. She said she'll take those 3 for 60. That was 25, 20, and 15. He's selling that much? His music's been out forever. Yeah, he's been around for a while, since 1953, actually. He'll be selling for a while. The Beatles have been around for a while too, but they're still buying them. So Led Zeppelin's been around for 50-something years. 53 to be exact, I guess. They'll be around for a while. Okay, new Japanese pressing. Let's do the Doobie Brothers and ABBA. The Doobie Brothers and ABBA. We have ABBA. This is like a greatest hits. ABBA's greatest hits. $24 of ABBA's greatest hits, Japanese pressing. This is a $35 start. There's LP number 1. There's LP number 2. This has the original lyric book with it. It has a nice gatefold cover with Obi. Lots of pictures there of ABBA. That is a $35 start. Welcome, ABBA. That's a 24-track greatest hits, $35 start. And the Doobie Brothers Stampede. $35 on the Doobie Brothers Stampede. $35. Doobie Brothers Stampede. There's the LP. There's the Japanese insert. There's the cover with Obi. That's a $35 start. Pamela, I will do 35 on Led Zeppelin. 35 on Led Zeppelin. In here we have new vintage arrivals. The Rolling Stones Emotional Rescue, $29.99. Emotional Rescue, $29.99. Foreigner 4 in shrink wrap, $19.99 for Foreigner 4. Jukebox Hero, Waiting for a Girl Like You, Urgent, $19.99 for Foreigner 4. Rycooter, Bop Till You Drop. Rycooter is $19.99. Bop Till You Drop. Herman's Hermits. Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. This is sealed, unopened. $14.99 for Herman's Hermits. Mahalia Jackson's Greatest Hits. $12.99 for Mahalia's Greatest Hits. John Porter, first on Foreigner 4. That's sold to John Porter. Robert Burke has ABBA for $35, going twice, going 3 times. Michael Nath is first to Mahalia Jackson. That's sold to Michael Nath. Eartha Kitt. The Best of Eartha Kitt. First time I've ever heard that name. $14.99. $14.99. And Hot Rod Magazine Rally. Hot Rod Rally. Hot Rod Magazine Rally. That's cool. $24.99. $24.99. Or I've not the first time I've heard this name. First time I've seen this one. The Best of. First time I've seen this album. $14.99. That is sold to Michael Nath. Pamela's at $36. Pamela is at $36 on ABBA. Leslie was second on Eartha Kitt. Fred Carnell also be at $36 on ABBA. Eartha Kitt was the original Catwoman. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, I've seen these, her name before on records. Just never seen that Best of. ABBA is at $38 with Robert Burke. And that's the high bid. Looking for a $35 start on Doobie Brothers. We have James Bond's Greatest Hits. $19.99. This is like an import copy of some sort. This is an import copy. James Bond's Greatest Hits. Yeah, it's really cool. James Bond theme from Rush of Love, Goldfinger, You Only Live Twice, Man with a Golden Gun. Let's see here. Hot Rod, Nick. Hot Rod is $24.99. Hot Rod Rally, $24.99. Casino Royale. This is the original Casino Royale. It's almost like a spoof James Bond. That is $19.99. Eartha Kitt did the original Christmas song, Santa Baby. Now, we've all heard that one. $19.99. Casino Royale, $19.99. Cool cover on that. Check that out. We have Hair, original soundtrack recording for Hair, $24.99. ABBA's at $38 with Pamela Yeager. Pat Travers, Making Magic. Pat Travers is $19.99. The Best of Sticks. The Best of Sticks, $19.99 for The Best of Sticks. Bond is original artist. Yes, Bond is original artist. Spats. Spats is $34.99. Spats, $34.99. Gary Lewis and the Playboys, Golden Greats, $12.99 for Gary Lewis. And 10 Years After. 10 Years After is $19.99. 10 Years After, $19.99. What? This is Shh by 10 Years After. That is $19.99. 10 Years After. That album is SSSSH, as in shh. It's always hard to say that. It's hard to actually say that word without even like making it quiet. Here's one of those really terrible inner sleeves. See how it's got ripped here? Horrible. Happens all the time. That's probably the original one too, even though it's not that big of a deal. Just a generic wide inner sleeve. The vinyl on that was beautiful. Pamela's at $38 on ABBA. That's going twice, going 3 times. Fred Carnell's at $39. Nick, I will do $20 for the Hot Rod if you want it. I'll sell that for $20. Fred Carnell. ABBA is, Bond is $19.99. You did the last time you showed that record. Put it in a different sleeve. Is that right? Wow. There's something wrong with that. That's something wrong with that album sleeve then. Roger Hodgkin in The Eye of the Storm. That is $14.99. Hot Rod, Charlie Ryan. This is $49.99. Hot Rod, Charlie Ryan. That's on the King label. $49.99 on that one. We got multiple people still bidding on ABBA. Just Dave Van Rock, $34.99. That's in shrink wrap. The new Country and Western Roundup. 10 great stars, 50 songs. Buck Owens, Merle Haggard, Glenn Campbell, Tex Ritter, etc. 24. Wanda Jackson. That is $24.99. $24.99. Sean Cassidy, Under Wraps, $14.99 for Sean Cassidy. Fred Astaire, Attitude Dancing, that is $9.99. Mickey Newberry, The Sailor, $24.99. And the original Star Wars soundtrack. This is a French pressing. Check that out. French pressing. That is $39.99. Star Wars French pressing, $39.99. High bid on ABBA is $41. Michael Knapp, the Dave Van Ronk, is $34.99. It's a beautiful copy in shrink wrap. Just Dave Van Ronk, $34.99. $34.99. Let me go through this crate one more time. These are new arrivals. New arrivals. I have been discounted a few things, but some things I'm like, you know what? I mean, I'm showing new arrivals at 10 o'clock or 10:50. Don't know if I want to discount these a whole lot, especially some of these good titles. Michael Knapp gets to Dave Van Ronk, and Star Wars is sold to Chris Gardner. There's Dave Van Ronk for Michael Knapp. There's Star Wars for Chris Gardner. Pamela Yeager still has ABBA for $41. Final call. If anybody wants the Doobie Brothers, we'll make that a $35 buy it now. $35 buy it now on the Doobie Brothers. $35, that's a buy it now. The Doobie Brothers. Stampede. First come, first serve on that one. $35 buy it now. Still got a lot of stuff to show you, so don't go anywhere. Let me go read through these titles one more time. Somebody asked if this had the poster, Emotional Rescue. No, it doesn't. We've got it in a new anti-static. We have Ry Cooter, Bop Till You Drop, $19.99. Herman's Hermits is sealed. The soundtrack to Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. That's $14.99. Fred's back in on ABBA at $42. We have Hot Rod Rally. Let's see. Chris, here's the cover. Nick says he's going to pass at $20. If anybody does want it, it's $20. It's Hot Rod Magazine's Hot Rod Rally. It's a compilation of music. That's $24.99. Pamela's at $43 on ABBA. What I always say about ABBA is the only ABBA greatest hits that's in print. The only ABBA greatest hits that's in print is called ABBA Gold. And it retails for like $49.99. So this is, for a Japanese pressing with 24 tracks, not a bad price at all. A vintage original Japanese at $43. Okay, so Nick passed on the Hot Rod at $20. Chris said he asked how much it was, and he said he'll take it for $20. Burt Jordan was second. So that's sold to Chris Gardner for $20. Casino Royale is still available. Hair, the original soundtrack, is still available. Pat Travers Making Magic. The Best of Sticks. Spats. Gary Lewis and the Playboys. 10 Years After. 10 Years After. James Bond. I'm going to keep that at $19.99. Great compilation. And it's a foreign copy that I don't see as often. I hope I already have that. I think I told John I did. That's why I put it out for sale. Roger Hodgkins. This is Hot Rod by Charlie Ryan on King. $49.99. Country and Western Roundup box set. Sean Cassidy was sealed. Fred Astaire and Mickey Newberry. Fred's out on ABBA. We got new bidders, though. We got Robert Burke still bidding. Fred's out. Pamela's at $46. Anybody else want anything in there? Let me do a little bit of crate condensing. Also, did anybody want the Led Zeppelin for $35? I don't think they said yes. So, I don't think they said yes on that. Leslie Holt on Hair. Leslie Holt got Hair. Paul, I can't read you those tracks. There's 50 of them on here. We'll be here till tomorrow morning. But some of the artists is Buck Owens, Merle Haggard, Glenn Campbell, Wanda Jackson, Sonny James. And if you want to look that up, that is called Country and Western Roundup, and that is SLER, Sleer, 6582. Nick, the Led Zeppelin is Led Zeppelin In Through the Outdoor. Unless Pamela said she wanted it for $35 and I missed it, but I don't think I ever got a yes or no on that one. There's one empty crate. Let me do some crate condensing here. There's another crate. Let me move these over. We've had a lot of great new arrivals, some awesome stuff left over. Those that missed tonight's show that gets to watch the leftover video, I think they're going to be quite happy. Let me go through tonight's newest new vinyl that's right here. Since we're not going to take a break, this is like we're starting, it's like we're starting part 2 right now, okay? So this is like part 2 starting right now, but we're just not going to take a break. So imagine it's part 2 starting right now. Pamela's at $46. Robert's out. Let's go ahead and sell the ABBA to Pamela Yeager. That's sold to Pamela for $46. I'll put up 2 new auctions. Let me do a little bit of condensing here on the new vinyl. One crate after another being emptied. They're going to pass on the Led Zeppelins. I'm going to go through some new vinyl, a couple quick recaps of that, and then we'll go through some discounted stuff, etc. I'm still condensing some crates here. I got a whole crate of Elvis somewhere that we've never been through before. Definitely moved some vinyl tonight. There's 4 empty crates, and I think underneath this is another one. How many crates of new vinyl? There's another crate. That one's almost empty because when we went through that one, it got nearly wiped out. Let me go through this one. Yeah, we've emptied a lot tonight. How low on the 12 by 5? I'll do $5 off on that one and make it 35, Michael. 35. We can do some condensing here. Go through these one more time. Paul says he's out on the country roundup. Not a problem. All righty. Let me see what I've got in the Japanese department. Got this crate really condensed, but we'll get to go through it all in one. Michael said he'll take the 12 by 5 for 35. Let me do that. I've got to find it, though. Give me a second. Mickey Newberry, Eagles. Now, yeah, that's going to take me a second. Is this all the vintage here? Is it all in one crate? Okay, no, that's the one we just went through. I went right to it. Sell this to Michael Word for 35. Okay, let's go through this crate one more time. This is a recap bin of some of tonight's new arrivals and restocks, and then I think the very first crate we went through. While we're doing this, I'm going to put up new Japanese auctions. I'm going to go through at the end of the show everything that didn't sell and try to get it sold. Until then, I'm going to introduce a couple new things. I got a couple Japanese pressings without obies, and you should really pay attention because these are 2 great albums here. We got Journey Captured. This doesn't have an obi, or wait a minute, what is this? Yeah, this is a Japanese pressing. No obi, $35 start. $35 start for Journey Captured. There's LP number 1. There's LP number 2. This has the inner sleeve with it. There's the other inner sleeve. There's the Japanese insert, a little bit of foxing on it. The cover, about VG Plus, gatefold, no obi, and that's a $35 start on Journey Captured. $35 start on that. And then Led Zeppelin. This is about an EX copy, Japanese press of Led Zeppelin 4. This is also a $45 start. Led Zeppelin 4, $45 start. There's LP 1. There is the original inner sleeve. There's the Japanese insert. And there's the cover. No obi with this one, but a nice Japanese quality jacket and vinyl. It's EX. That's a $35 and a $45 start on those two. If you need nice copies of those, Japanese pressings, not bad. Okay, here's what's in here. Breaking Benjamin, Ember. Breaking Benjamin, $29.99. That album's called Ember. Muddy Waters, After the Rain, $29.99 for Muddy Waters, After the Rain. Leslie's in on Journey at $35. We have Pearl Jam, self-titled, the Avocado album, $46.99 on Pearl Jam, $46.99. Pearl Jam Live at Fox Theater, Atlanta, 1994, colored vinyl, unofficial, $24.99. Kiss, Revenge, $33. Good luck trying to find an original of this. They're out there, but just not easy to get. $33.99 on Kiss, Revenge. Leslie's at $35 on Journey. That's going twice, going 3 times. The new Overkill album. This is called Scorched. It's on gold vinyl. $36.99 on Overkill Scorched. $36.99. And the Velvet Underground Loaded. The Velvet Underground Loaded. $31.99. Crystal Clear vinyl. $31.99. The new Jethro Tull album. That's the indie exclusive. The indie exclusive Coke Bottle Clear vinyl. $38.99 for Jethro Tull. New album. We have Townes Van Zandt, A Far Cry from Dead. That is Townes Van Zandt's Grammy-nominated album from 1999. First time ever on vinyl. $36.99. AC/DC, Stiff Upper Lip. Stiff Upper Lip is $34.99. Wasp, The Headless Children. Wasp is $39.99 for Headless Children. And Bon Jovi, The Best of Bon Jovi, $44.99. That's called Crossroads. The Best of Bon Jovi. Cage the Elephant, Melophobia, $28.99. And Pink Floyd Relics. Pink Floyd Relics Remaster, $34.99. Anthrax, Fistful of Metal. Anthrax is $33.99. And we have Hall & Oates, $28.99. Hall & Oates is $28.99. That's called Rock and Roll Soul Part 1. Someone was asking about the Avocado album, but we sold one earlier, and I'm hoping that was that person. I really can't remember, though. Let's go ahead and sell Leslie Journey for $35. Thank you. I'll take the Yoko and Lennon and the White Stripes. Okay, that White Stripes is right up here. Let me make sure I'm confirming what you want. You're wanting the White Stripes Elephant for $49.99, and I think you're wanting the, or you want the John and Yoko live piece with calendar for $65. Is that right, Amy? The White Stripes and that for $65. Let me know if that's right. Final call if anybody wants to get in on the Zeppelin for $45. Cage the Elephant, Tell Me I'm Pretty, $28.99. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, $36.99. The Tarantino Experience Volume 3, $44.99. Last copy of U2 Singles, $38.99. The Bleach soundtrack, $44.99. U2 Under a Blood Red Sky, $33.99. Neck Deep, $28.99. Run the Jewels, $44. We have the last copy of the indie exclusive Sublime Yellow Vinyl, $39.99. Bob Marley Exodus, $36.99. Weezer, last copy of the Green Album, $34.99 on Weezer. Now we're down to 3 copies of Elephant and 2 copies of the Peter Criss Kiss picture disc, $38.99. James Bragg on Sublime. That's $5 at the door. Sell that to James Bragg. Okay, if anybody wants Led Zeppelin, you might want to grab this. Nice Japanese pressing, no obi, just $45 for Led Zeppelin 4. I don't know where this painting is, but whoever has it, they've got a lot of money. I think it's lost. I've tried figuring that out, but not easy to get. Okay, Allison Campbell wants Weezer, and Amy says she'll take one too. Well, that was my last copy. So what I'll have to do is give this one to Allison. She was first. Amy, I'll put your name down for a waiting list if that's okay. I actually think I have more already on the way because I could see that I was going to sell out of that this week. And then Allison Campbell wants a White Stripes. 7 Nation Armies on that. That's the new 20th anniversary. That song's been out for 20 years. Does that make some of y'all feel old? I was 7. Wow. Or 6. Or 5, depending on when it came out 20 years ago. Okay, anybody else in this crate? So here's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Let's go through. Let me see what I've got. I don't have Weezer Pinkerton. I'm going to take this off the table. Tanner, did you catch it earlier? Somebody said, Chad, can I get a Metallica on this? It was Bob McKinney. That was earlier. Bob McKinney. I never did pull that. He says, can I get a new 72 Seasons on this week's invoice? I know I was forgetting something. That's sold to him. I do not have Weezer Pinkerton. If anybody else wants on that Weezer Green Album waitlist, let me know. I think I'm going to go through some of tonight's new arrivals, but not before I put up a couple new Japanese auctions. I've got some Japanese 7-inch singles here, and I'm just probably going to do one at a time so we can focus on some crates here the last hour or so. We've been live normally about this time we are coming back for part 2, but I'm just going to do a recap and then call it a night. We're going to have another big show tomorrow, Friday night, and then we're going to have another big show on Saturday. Well, let me remind you about tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to look at some records like at 6 o'clock, and it's going to be really hard to go buy those records and come back and be ready for the show. This is a Black Magic Woman on an SQ Quadraphonic 45. I think that's what this is. Yeah, an SQ. I don't know if that's... Usually when you see that, yeah, it's quadraphonic. That's something I don't see too often. A quadraphonic 45 of Santana, Black Magic Woman from Abraxas. This is really cool. And Everybody's Everything. How cool is that? The original inner sleeve, the vinyl is mint and unplayed. Black Magic Woman in quad at 45 RPM, OG. Now that's got to sound incredible. I might want to listen to that. That is going to be a $20 start for Santana. $20 start for Santana. Let me find the crate of the most newest new stuff from tonight, if I can. I hope I didn't condense that with some other stuff. Maybe it's this crate on the bottom. I think I may have mixed, or it's over here in the front. Let's see here. Actually, let's just go through some stuff and do it on sale. I feel like everybody watching has probably seen most of that already. Let's go through some stuff maybe we hadn't shown in a while and put it on sale. Sorry, I'm out of breath lifting these crates up and putting them back down. I need Pretty in Pink. The soundtrack, I don't think we have that. I think that's out of stock right now. Let me see what I've got over here. Soundtracks, I have Casino Royale, the new Bond film. Avatar, Cruella. I've got a new sealed copy of FM. Godfather 3, Escape from New York, John Carpenter. Hellboy, Gold Member, Austin Powers. The Iron Giant, Licorice Pizza, Mad Max, Train Spotting, Stranger Things, Polar Express, Minions, Spider-Man, The Omen, The Oregon Trail, Star Wars Rogue One, The Matrix, Titanic, Black Panther, Transformers, Tron, Venom, Wild Style, Where the Crawfish Sing, which has got a Taylor Swift song on it. And that's what I have in my new vinyl soundtracks. That's all I have in my new vinyl soundtracks. Okay, let me figure out which crate I'm going to go through over here. I may have to go to the back and get one. Let me go do that right quick. Let me go to the back and get a crate. Sorry for the delay on showing new stuff. I'm kind of unorganized finding new stuff right now, but I can go right back here. All right, let's do some vintage 50% off. Vintage 50% off. You need a cherry limeade. I know, I'm a little off. We didn't take a break, started late, didn't get into my normal rhythm. I see some people hopping on. I can tell our viewers went up because probably people's like, part 2 has started. Well, we actually started part 1 late. Looks like since I went to the back, 20 new people got on Facebook and YouTube. Nick, Rogue One, excuse me, Rogue One is $29.99. I like this Star Wars film. It's actually really, really good. I like this one a lot. Rogue One is $29.99. Soundtrack by John Williams. You've probably heard of him before. Okay, so let's do some vintage 50% off. I don't have any Chris Ledoux or Ledoux. No, I don't. Ledoux. Okay, 50% off. Let's see what I have in here. I just pulled some records out of some bins. It's about to be discounted anyway for our sale. Summer of 42, Michael Legrand. That is $7.50. I'm going to be telling you the half off prices, by the way. Eddie Lockjaw Davis and the Johnny Griffin Quintet. Eddie Lockjaw Davis, $7.50. The Brother Joe May Story, that is $10 after the half off. The Barbra Streisand Broadway album, $4 on that. $4 on that. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, their self-titled first album, $10. You Make Me So Very Happy, and Spinning Wheels, some hit songs on that. Hot Tuna, $10 on Hot Tuna. Orange RCA label, Hot Tuna, $10. John Hartford, Iron Mountain Depot, $12.50 on John Hartford, Iron Mountain Depot. John Porter, first on Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Michael Nath, first on Hot Tuna. Doing some vintage 50% off here. Jetted on BS, that was probably for Barbra Streisand. Let me know if that's right. And Paul Gill on John Hartford. These are all half off vintage LPs. Blue Magic, 13 Blue Magic Lane on Atco. That is $10 in shrink wrap. Jerry Lee Lewis, that's actually a self-titled album. $5 for JLL, Jerry Lee Lewis. The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, $15. The vinyl is VG. $15 on The Crazy World of Arthur Brown. We have John Porter on Jerry Lee Lewis. That's sold to John Porter. Twang a Country Song, Dwayne Eddy, $5 on Dwayne Eddy. Firefall, self-titled, Firefall is $5. Alan Totten first on Arthur Brown. Nigel Del Rocket, you were second. Nick, you were second to Jerry Lee Lewis. Firefall Elon, that is $5 for that Firefall. This is Nashville. Rock 106 presents Homegrown. This is a sampler of local Nashville groups from 1980. $15 on that. Sean Jones on DE, that's Dwayne Eddy for Sean Jones. The Best of Gloria Lynn on the Fontana label. $7.50 on Gloria Lynn. Marian Faithful, $5. Marian Faithful, $5. Blue London Stereo label. Steve Forbert, also $5. The Best of the Electric Flag, $12.50 on the Electric Flag. Still I Span is $10. And Second Contribution, Sean Phillips. Second Contribution, $10 for Sean Phillips. Half Off Records, if you're just hopping on, we have Johnny Rivers, Realization. Johnny Rivers is $7.50. And Torture. This is $12.50. And that is Torture. Who? This is, almost said, no, who is this? Kirk Jensen. Almost said Fabian. That's Chris Jensen. Chris Jensen. Kind of had a Fabian vibe going on. That's not who that is. Second Winter, Johnny Winter, $15 on that. That's a 2 LP. Nuts. What's this say? Nuts. N-U-T-Z. That is $10 after the half off. What do we have here? The Art of Noise Legacy. $7.50. The Art of Noise 12-inch single. $7.50. Rabbit. W-R-A-B-I-T. Tracks. Rabbit Tracks. That is $7.50. Nick Bargeron on Johnny Winter. That's sold to Nick. Jeff McMaster wants Art of Noise. Art of Noise. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. So if anybody wants to get the Santana Black Magic Woman Japanese 45 quadraphonic press, that's now a $20 buy it now. Santana is a $20 buy it now. That is Black Magic Woman, single from Abraxas, quad pressing, and it is mint and unplayed. $20 buy it now on that. Scotty Hops put Marianne. I don't know if that was a tag or is that, oh, Marianne Faithful. Gotcha. That's so to Scotty Hops. And then Nigel Del Rocket wants Sean Phillips. That's so to Nigel Del Rocket. Everything in here is half off. How about Big Al Downing? That is $7.50. Country Gentleman. That's a compilation. Porter Wagner, Charlie Walker, David Houston. Classic country stuff. $5 on that. The Bluebells is $7.50. There are but 4 Small Faces. The Small Faces is a VG copy. $12.50. $12.50. Rabbit may have been Trevor Rabin yes. Let's see here. Possibly. I think I remember. Maybe I'm thinking about something else. Possibly. If he had wrote in the songs. Not for sure. You may be right on that though, Scott. Tammy Hinkle on Country Gentleman. That's sold to Tammy Hinkle. And the Boomtown Rats, Mondo Bongo. That is $10 for Boomtown Rats. Gloria Gaynor, Never Can Say Goodbye. $5 on Gloria Gaynor. Dexter Gordon, the Ballad album. Dexter Gordon is $10. We got something in the wrong sleeve. Coleman Hawkins, $7.50 for Coleman Hawkins. Let's see here. Somebody didn't put that back in the right way. Coleman Hawkins is $7.50. That's on the Jazzbird label. Nigel Del Rocket on SF. That's the Small Faces. And Leslie Holt on Gloria Gaynor. Gloria Gaynor. John Ambrosic wants You. That must have auto-corrected from something. We'll see what John wants. Bloody Murder. Bloody Murder. As in Bloody Murder. That is $7.50. Some kind of 12-inch single on white marbled vinyl you see there. Michael Nath first on Coleman Hawkins. That's sold to Michael Nath. Everything in here is half off. Barbara Streisand Songbird. $4 on Streisand. Passport. Ikwaku. Feel like I'm mispronouncing that, but Passport is $5. Sea Wind. Sea Wind is $7.50. And Paul Revere and the Raiders going to Memphis. Paul Revere is $7.50. Alan Totten wants Passport. Leslie Holt wants Songbird by Barbara. Those are all sold. Boone's Farm is $10. Dixie Dregs Free Fall, $7.50. Spirit Feedback, Spirit is $10. Dixie Dregs still available. I just showed it. $7.50 is what I meant to say. Dionne Warwick, Go With Love. Dionne is $7.50. Dionne Warwick, Promises, $5. And Barbara Streisand, Memories, $4 on Streisand. John Porter on Dregs. Dixie Dregs sold to John Porter. Clouds Across the Sun, Firefall, $5. And the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Stars and Stripes Forever, that is $15 after the half off. Fred Carnell, the Boomtown Rats. The Boomtown Rats was $10. That was a nice copy in shrink wrap. $10 on that. Bob Wills and his First Texas Playboys in concert. Sealed copy, $15. Sealed copy for the Bob Wills there, 2LP. Jedit wants the Barbara Streisand. That's sold to Jedit, Barbara Streisand, and David Sanborn, Heart to Heart. $5 on David Sanborn. Rod Stewart, Smiler, $10 on Rod Stewart, Smiler. Welcome to My World, Dean Martin, $5 on Dean Martin. And David LaFlamme, Inside Out, that is $7.50. Fred Carnell wants the Boomtown Rats. Sell that to Fred Carnell, half off right here. That's sold to Fred Carnell. Jetty got the Barbara Streisand there. Point Blank, $7.50. Nick Bargeron on RS. That was for Rod Stewart. Sell that to Nick Bargeron. He also wants Dean Martin. For just joining us, we're doing a crate of half-off stuff here. Herbie Mann, The Inspiration I Feel. Herbie Mann is $10. The Weather Report. Weather Report is $7.50. Larry Coryell, The Real Great Escape, $10. Did I miss something? Nick, can you confirm that you are Wolfpack Motorsports 1 on YouTube? Can you please confirm that for us so we can make sure that all goes under the same account? I think last night when it was YouTube only, you were buying underneath that account. We just want to make sure. The South Soul Orchestra, Street Sense, $10 on South Soul Orchestra, Street Sense. Automatic Man, Visitors, this is 10. Automatic Man, Visitors, 10. And Joe Jackson, Jump and Jive. Joe Jackson is $10. Aaron Gardner on South Soul Orchestra. We have McGear. This is Paul McCartney's brother, actually, Mike McGear, $10. He didn't want to ride off any coattails, so he went by McGear instead of McCartney. I'd be riding all kinds of coattails if my brother was Paul McCartney. $10 on Mike McGear. And Capricorn 1, original motion picture soundtrack, $10. $10. Bob Wills for 10. Paul Gill. Go ahead and sell this to Paul Gill for 10. The Bob Wills. Nigel Del Rocket wants the Mike McGear. That's sold to Nigel Del Rocket. And Neil Sedaka sings his greatest hits. $5 on Neil Sedaka. Wind in the Line, $10. And Heart Touching Songs, Tom Jones, $5. Imagine being Paul McCartney's brother. You know, it's like 1968. You're all home for Christmas. Of course, I don't know if his parents were still alive at the time. I think they were. Maybe not. But it's all sitting around Christmas, and everybody's like, Paul, how's everything going? And he's like, well, we just put out Sgt. Pepper's, the White Album. We're working on Abbey Road, you know, and then his brother's sitting over there like, what am I doing? You know, what am I doing with my life? We also just had out, you know, Rubber Soul, Revolver. We're the biggest band in the world. Both Dionne Warwick. Mike McGear is over there like clenching his fist. Both Dionnes for $10. Sell those to Marco for $5 and $5. What are you doing, Mike? Why can't you breathe like your brother, Paul? This is Chris. The Fabian-looking guy was Chris Jensen. Chris Jensen was $12.50. That's called Torture by Chris Jensen. It's on the Hickory label. Franklin Road, Nashville, Tennessee. $12.50. You'll never be Paul. Yeah. You'll never be like your brother. That's got to be just sad. Okay. Derek Clark, he knows a lot about music, doesn't he? Very impressive. I don't even think Derek is probably not even Googling this stuff. It's probably all coming from his head. It's amazing. He knows all these bands that I don't know who they are. He's like, oh, that's produced by the South African producer something something. Okay. These are all half off. Let me read through these titles one more time. Let me read through these titles one more time. If anybody wants to make an offer on anything, like Chris Jensen, if anybody's interested, make an offer. I'm going to go through these one more time. And I don't have any Dwight Yoakam anything. Nope. No Dwight Yoakam nothing. Chris Jensen, Michael LeGrand, Eddie Lockjaw Davis. Where's Doc Smith at? Brother Joe May Story, Blue Magic, Firefall, Rock 106 presents Homegrown, Gloria Lynn, Stephen Forbert, Electric Flag, Still I Span, Johnny Rivers, Nuts, Big Al Downing, The Bluebells, Rabbit, Dexter Gordon. This is Bloody Murder. John Miller said he'd give 10 for Electric Flag. You just bought yourself an Electric Flag, John Miller. Nigel said 10 for both Dion Works. I think I've already sold those. I have. Marco's already offered 10 for both of them. Those are already gone. Sea Wind, Boone's Farm, Paul Revere and the Raiders, Spirit Feedback, Firefall. 3 Firefalls in here. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. If anybody wants 3 Firefall albums, $10 for all 3 of them. Clouds Across the Sun, Elon, and Self-Titled. $10 for all 3 Firefall. First comment gets it. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band was $15. David Sanborn, David LaFlamme, Point Blank, The Inspiration I Feel, Herbie Mann, Weather Report, Larry Coryell, Automatic Man, Joe Jackson, Capricorn 1 soundtrack, Neil Sedaka, The Wind and Line. Sean Connery appeared in that. Let's see. Randy said me. He was first to the 3 Firefalls. That's $10 for those 3. Alan was second. Alan was second. Alice was third. John Porter said he'd give 10 for this. Sold. Pamela said Spirit and Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. How much for both? Pamela, we just sold Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. John just beat you to that one. And let's see. Spirit. Let me see. The half off price was 10. I'll do 8 on that. It's left over still. I'll do 8 on that if you want it. Clean copy. Dale, the Automatic Man. Also, Dale, your Crown's Lands took off last night. I finally did my first live public endorsement of how great the record is, and I sold like 7 more copies. But guess what? They're all back ordered. I can't get any. So I think I'm going to get some from one distributor, but maybe just like 2 or 3, and hopefully I can get more. But the Automatic Man, I think, was $10 after the half off. Let me find that. Or did I already show it? It was right here. Automatic Man, that was $10 after the half off. Sell Spirit to Pamela for $8. Let's see here. Anybody else? Wiped out a nice half off bin there. I'm about to go fill it up again. I'm about to go fill that up again. Final call. I'd love to sell anything in here to you. James Bragg says he'll take the Nuts album. I won't read exactly what Derek Clark said because that endorsement doesn't come across too accurately, or you shouldn't read that out loud. James Bragg says he'll take the Nuts record. What a odd, just odd. So, all right, let's go get. If Derek recommends it, I need to have it. I know it. I feel the same way. He's a couple other things I've like put on the turntable after sales. No one buys them, and then I'm like, wow. So many of these artists. I mean, there was so much good music made in the '60s and '70s that we don't know about. You could listen to music you could come in here and buy a stack of records, go through all of our bins every day, and you would find, y'all watch our shows, so same thing, and you would find records forever. Alrighty, folks. I'm back up from the front. Joe Jackson always has good albums. Short print run. Crowns Lands. I know. I was kind of disappointed. I wish I'd ordered more of those now, but now I know if they ever put out anything new between now and then. All right, more half-off records. It's 11:26. Not saying this is our last crate, but it might be. So get your fix in now. I don't want to run any more auctions. It's awfully late. I really don't have any new stuff unless I just kind of randomly start digging stuff up. So the best thing to do is just focus on these half-off records. I'm going to tell you the price. I'm going to tell you the title and the price. And the price I'm telling you is the half-off price. Alrighty. So first thing we have here is Jimi Hendrix. That's a good way to start. $10. This is one of those like unofficial springboard compilations, but it's just $10 on Jimi Hendrix. 10 on Jimi Hendrix. We have Signs of the Zodiac, Cancer. That's a VG plus, $10. Signs of the Zodiac, Cancer. The Nice, that's Keith Emerson, Lee Jackson, Brian Davis. That is $10 for The Nice, Autumn to Spring. Roberta Flack, $10 on Roberta Flack, RF. And Harry Chapman, Living Room Suite. Harry Chapman is $5 for Living Room Suite. The Escape Club, Wild Wild West, the Dance Mix, and other versions, $7.50. Moody Blues, Sir Lommer. Moody Blues is $10 for Sir Lommer. And Ronnie Dyson, If You Let Me Make Love to You, Then Why Can't I Touch You? Well, that's a long title. Kind of confusing, too. $10. Tammy Hinkle, first on Jimi Hendrix. That's so to Tammy. And Leslie Holt on HC. That was Harry Chapman. Also, we're going to sell Pamela. We're going to sell Pamela, the Joe Jackson from the last crate for $5. I'll go ahead and pull that now. Joe Jackson. Great price on that. I've sold a ton of those before at full sticker. Sell those to Pamela for $5. Eric S. on Escape Club. And if you're just joining us, we're doing a bin of half-off vintage. Every Which Way But Loose soundtrack, $10. That's in shrink wrap. Music by Eddie Rabbit, Charlie Rich, and Mel Tillis. Speaking of Mel Tillis, Mr. Entertainer, gold stamp promo on the front. That is a $5 buy it now. Bobby V's Golden Greats. Bobby V is $5. Hit Parade of Bluegrass Stars. That is sealed. It's never been opened. From Star Day, $12.50. Ken Crooker wants Every Which Way But Loose. That's so to Ken Crooker's soundtrack half off. Wickline. Wickline is $10. The Kindles. Fire at First Sight. The Kindles. $5. Bluegrass Memories Crossroads. That's a sealed copy. $10. Paul Gill wants the Hit Parade from Star Day. The sealed copy. John Miller wants Mel Tillis. And Nick Bargeron wants Bluegrass Memories. Those are all sold. On, let's see, promotion not for sale or airplay purposes. Foreplay. A&M's pre-release sampler. We have LT, this is a sampler. LTD, Tim Curry, Mark Bueno, Rick Wakeman, Niles Lofgren, Lazy Racer, David Kubanek, and Airwaves. That is $7.50. Leslie was first to the Kindles. Paul Gill was second to the Kindles. Rufus Harley, A Tribute to Courage. Rufus Harley, $10 on Atlantic. In Concert, Backed by the Man, The Soulful Strings, $7.50. The Soulful Strings in Concert. That's in shrink wrap. Looks like it has a little cover damage up on the top right-hand corner, but nice vinyl. Biff Rose. Biff Rose is $7.50. There's one of those odd 98-cent sticker type records I was telling y'all about. TFC, If You Want to Sex Me Up, 12-inch single. If You Want to Sex Me Up, $7.50. Not Memories, the first bluegrass. Okay. So that other record we tagged for Nick, he does not want that. Not that the... that one is sold to Paul Gill. He was first. It's the blue, that one, yeah. Nick does not want that. Okay, so this is still available. If anybody wants Bluegrass Memories, Crossroads, that was sealed. Okay, Tony Arata, Changes. Tony Arata, $10. Paul Motian, or Motian, maybe. Conception Vessel, $7.50. Millie Jackson, An Imitation of Love, $7.50. This Is Van Leer, that is $7.50. C-Train, Marblehead Messenger. C-Train is $10 for Marblehead Messenger. $10. Marblehead Messenger. 1010 Astral Taxi, that is $7.50. John Porter said BG price. The Bluegrass Memories is sealed, $10 after the half off. Yellow River by Christie, that's in shrink wrap, $12.50. That's from the Pennsylvania collection. You know what that's going to look like? It's going to look like it's new. Manfred Mann's Earth Band, Angel Station, $7.50. Spyro Gyra, City Kids, $5. And the Whites, Forever You, that is $7.50. Brian, he has just beat you out to the Bluegrass Memories. That is so to John Porter. And Richard Group says, and Steve Forbert. He said disregard that. Okay. Rebby Jackson, Rue Tough Enough. Or no, excuse me, that's Are You Tough Enough? Not Rue. Are You Tough Enough? Rebby Jackson, $7.50. Nigel wants the City Kids by Spyro. George Duke, From Me to You. George Duke is $7.50. Craig Caffey, $10 on Craig Caffey. Beaver and Krause, In a Wild Sanctuary, $10. The Firesign Theater, $7.50. Nat King Cole, Those Lazy Hazy Days of Summer, $5 on Nat King Cole. Hold On, Herman's Hermits, $5. And Judy Collins, Reflections. Judy Collins, $5. The Game of Love, Wayne Fontana, $7.50. Fabian, there he is. The Best of Fabian, $5. Dragon, that's a cool cover. Dragon is $5. Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus, $10. Simon Says, 1910 Fruit Gum Company, $10 on Simon Says. Nick wants NKC. NKC was Nat King Cole, that's so to Nick Braggeron. And Alan Totten is first to Dragon, that's so to Alan. Did Nick ever say he was?
Yeah, he is.
He is? Okay. Al Cooper, Easy Does It. Al Cooper is $10 for Al Cooper. Linda Ronstadt, Simple Dreams, $5 for Linda Ronstadt. We have Multiple Places by somebody. It's on blue vinyl, $7.50. Dumb Gam. I really can't make that out. Multiple Places. That is $7.50. Blue vinyl. Red Prysock, Swing Softly Red, $5. The World of Johnny Ray, sealed, $10. Bobby Russell, Saturday Morning Confusion, that is $5. Ray Goodman and Brown, $5. Wheatfield Soul, The Guess Who, $7.50 for The Guess Who, featuring the hit These Eyes. That's a Pickwick pressing, $5 on The Guess Who. And we have another Guess Who, Canned Wheat. That is $7.50. The Guess Who Flavors, VG Plus, $5. And Mosaic by Crow. Crow is in shrink wrap, $10. What a nice copy, $10. Susie first on the Guess Who, then Randy, then Pamela. Susie, let me know if you want Wheatfield Soul, Canned Wheat, or the Guess Who. Or excuse me, or Flavors. There's 3 different ones there. You've got dibs on all of them if you want them. Randy, you were second. Pamela was third. Derek says C-Train Marblehead Messenger is a great album. Pamela wants Canned Wheat. Alan Totten wants Crow. Alan Totten wants Crow, and Wayne was second. Let's go ahead and sell Crow to Alan Totten. Susie wants Wheat. I'm assuming that was Wheatfield Soul. There's also Canned Wheat and Flavors. I'm going to tag you for Wheatfield Soul. Let me know if that's not right. And then Pamela, or actually Randy's next. Randy, you can have Canned Wheat or Flavors if you want either one of those. There's the Smith album, Minus Plus. Smith is $7.50. So Randy, you've got dibs on those last 2 if you want any. The Fireballs Bottle of Wine, $7.50. The Tubes, Outside Inside, $10. Blackfoot, Flying High, $10 on Blackfoot. Don Sepsky, The Rape of El Moro, $10. Amanda Ambrose, Recorded Live, $7.50. John Porter first on Blackfoot. We have Joe Stampley, Soul Song. Joe Stampley is $5. Flip Wilson, The Devil. Flip Wilson is $5. Official music, King Biscuit Boy with Crowbar, $10. Leo Sayer is $5, Living in a Fantasy. 12-inch single of Bryan Adams and Tina Turner, It's Only Love, $7.50. And Rage Hard, Frankie Goes to Hollywood promo, $7.50. John Porter on Flip Wilson. That's sold to John Porter. Leslie Holt wants the Bryan Adams, Tina Turner single. That's sold to Leslie Holt. And I'm going to read through these titles one final time. One final time. Here we go if you're ready. I'm ready if you are. Michael Nath wants the Amanda Ambrose. That's sold to Michael Nath. I'm just going to read these titles. If anybody wants to make an offer or know a price or know the pressing or know the condition or anything, just let me know. We have Signs of the Zodiac, Cancer. The Nice, Roberta Flack, Moody Blue, Surlomber, Ronnie Dyson, Bobby V, Wickline. That is a A&M sampler. Rufus Harley, Soulful Strings, Biff Rose, TFC. Marblehead Messenger by C-Train, still available. Tony Arata, Paul Motion, Millie Jackson. This is Van Leer, 1010, Christie, Manford Mann, The Whites, Rebby Jackson, George Duke, Craig Caffey, Beaver and Krause, The Firesign Theater, Herman's Hermits, Judy Collins, The Game of Love by Wayne Fontana, Hocus Pocus, Best of Fabian, 1910 Fruit Gum Company, Al Cooper still available, Easy Does It, Linda Ronstadt, still didn't really identify this one, Dumb Gum, I think, Dumb Gum, Red Prysock, Johnny Ray, Bobby Russell, Ray Goodman and Brown. Somebody asked if this had a song. A Special Lady on Ray Goodman and Brown. I do not see that on here. No, sir, Russell S. The Guess Who's still available? Got 'em, Wanted Wheat. Okay, so Randy passed on these other two. So who was next? Pamela Yeager. She wanted Canned Wheat. Okay, so that's sold to Pamela Yeager. Canned Wheat. Guess Who? Smith is still available. The Fireballs, The Tubes, Don Sepsky, Joe Stampley. Official music. This is King Biscuit Crowbar, Killer Blues from Canada, according to Derek Clark. Leo Sayer, and then the Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Any last requests, or does anybody want to see anything tonight? Nigel said he'd give 5 for the Smith album. Sell that to Nigel Del Rocket. Last night we had a couple requests, like Scorpions, and we went over there and we sold 2 or 3, especially new vinyl. If you have a request for like an OG record, I may or may not be able to tell you if we have it. Even if I do think we have it, it might take me, a day or two to locate it or even tell you if we do have it. But if you're looking for new vinyl titles like The Cars or Korn or Rush or Soundgarden or Kiss or Led Zeppelin or King Crimson or Queens of the Stone Age or Smashing Pumpkins or Dokken or Steely Dan or Pink Floyd or did I say Kiss or anything like that. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Albert King. I did have that the other night. Let me see if I still have a copy. I do have some high-end bins, but I don't have any ready for tonight. Pamela, we've already sold Led Zeppelin 4. I have the Specials, Gin Blossoms, Mammoth, Loretta Lynn, Zach Bryan, Foo Fighters, Bush, Motley Crue, The Beatles, Motley Crue, Pantera, Pink Floyd, Cash, Metallica, U2, Smashing Pumpkins, Pink Floyd, Depeche Mode, Alice in Chains, Chris Stapleton, Coulter Wall, Slipknot, Nickelback, Genesis, Nirvana, Oasis, Chris Stapleton, ZZ Top, System of a Down, Janet Jackson, Britney Spears, Fleetwood Mac, Misfits, Moby, Beatles, Talking Heads, Black Sabbath, Hardy. Hardy played in concert tonight in Chattanooga or Nashville, I think, one of the two. Leonard Skinner, Beth Hart, Metallica, Tom Petty, Led Zeppelin, more Smashing Pumpkins, Scorpions, Bob Marley, Aerosmith, Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac, Bob Marley, Velvet Revolver, U2, Cinderella, Tonic, Collective Soul, Leonard Skinner, Daft Punk, more Rush, Sex Pistols, Judas Priest. That's a lot. So, Nick, somewhere I've got that Stevie Ray Vaughan and Albert King. If you want one, let me know. I can find it. They're $34.99 to say Stevie Ray Vaughan and Albert King sold if you want one for $34.99. What was the nice? Give me 1 second on that, John Miller. Pamela, we've already sold Led Zeppelin 4. I don't have any John Hartford or Doc Watson that I could go to. Some OG Primus. I would too. Which Panteras? I've got Vulgar Display of Power, Great Southern Trendkill, Far Beyond Driven, and Cowboys from Hell. Great Southern Trendkill, Vulgar Display of Power, Far Beyond Driven, and Cowboys from Hell. That's the 4 Panteras I have in stock, Brandon Lack. Smashing Pumpkin Siamese Dream, John Schaefer, that is $99.99 if you want a copy. $99.99 if you want a copy. Just let me know. There's Stevie Ray Vaughan and Albert King. That is $34.99. Nigel Del Rocket said he will take the Santana Quad single. That's sold to Nigel Del Rocket for $20. Chris Stapleton, we have Traveler. We have Starting Over, his newest album. We have From Room A Volume 1 and From Room A Volume 2. Is Mammoth on colored vinyl? It is. Wolfgang Van Halen Mammoth is the Black Ice Indie exclusive retail copy. $36.99 on that. Price on Trendkill. Great Southern Trendkill is on colored vinyl, $34.99. Sold for $30. This is sold for $34.99 if you want it. That's Albert King and Stevie Ray Vaughan. I have sold probably 50 copies of that for $34.99. $34.99 if you want it. Oh, somebody, there is a Led Zeppelin 4 up here, isn't there? Who asked about this? Pamela, I think I started this at 45. We had it priced to start at 55. I was going to start it for 45, so I kind of need $45 for this. It is a Japanese pressing, and it's not bad whatsoever. So, Pamela, probably $45 on that tonight. It's a very nice copy. Brandon Lack says, I'll take it, and that was the Great Southern Trendkill right here for Pantera. I've also got Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits, Megadeth. I've got all 3 of the Warren albums in stock. I've got all 3 of the Warren albums in stock, which is Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich, Cherry Pie, and Dog Eat Dog. Dog Eat Dog. So Pantera, that is sold to Brandon Lack for $34.99. If anybody else wants a copy, let me know. We'll see if Nick wants that for $34.99. Please let me know yes or no either way, so we're not in limbo in case anybody else wants it. There's the Rogue One soundtrack somebody asked about. That is $29.99. And let's see, what else I have? Metallica's new album, Kraftwerk, Peter Tosh, Madonna, System of a Down, Talking Heads, Our Brother Art Thou Monk, Government Mule, Neil Young, 8 Mile soundtrack, Hate the 3. I think we're sold out of Steel Drivers. They're shipping me a new one. There's some kind of new one coming out or new restock. They'll be here tomorrow. Did I already read through that bin? I think I've already read through that bin. Best price on Chris Stapleton. They are all sticker price. $33.99, $33.99, $36.99, and $42.99. No discount on new vinyl unless I'm like, here is a crate of new vinyl that is on sale. Unless I'm like, here are some new LPs, they're all on sale. Otherwise, everything is sticker price. Whenever we put new vinyl on sale, everybody gets very excited. It's usually a blowout, and we sell everything. So, other than that, new vinyl's all sticker price. Pamela, the only Steely Dans that I have are the UHQRs, and I only have Countdown to Ecstasy. Countdown to Ecstasy, which is $164.99. That's the UHQR. Very Best of Dolly Parton, Zach Bryan, Fleetwood Mac, Iron Maiden. There's Killers. What did we need a copy of earlier? What was Tony Riddle wanting? There's Overkill, Under the Influence, Pink, Pixies, Pink Floyd, Cult, Coldplay, Slipknot, Beck, George Harrison, The Beatles. There's the Paul Stanley, there's the Gene Simmons, and there's the Ace Frehley. I've got Peter Criss right over here. So we got all 4 of them in stock. That's pretty cool. Bob Marley, 10 Years, Carole King, and Ozzy. Wayne says, have you heard of the woman group Black Sabbath? They play Ozzy. I have not heard that. Can you explain the UHQR pricing? The UHQR is Pink. Leslie, Pink is right here, $33.99. UHQR is from Analog Productions. That is an audiophile pressing. They are, let me show it to you. It's 100% all analog. I think they've done this at 2LP, 45 RPM. We've also got Led Zeppelin Mothership over here. I sold the copy of Can't Buy a Thrill. I need to get some more of those. If anybody wants a copy of Can't Buy a Thrill, I can get that for you. And then the single, they're releasing this as a single LP. So they announced Can't Buy a Thrill, which it hadn't been repressed in, I don't think really ever on 180 gram vinyl. And then they announced the UHQR. Then they announced all of the UHQRs they're doing for this actually. And this is 164. So what I've told people is, if you get this through the Analog Productions website, at face value, it's cheaper. But if you go to the checkout and after you pay shipping, ours is actually cheaper. And that's why I've sold so many. I've actually sold a lot of the Can't Buy a Thrill, because I got on there to order one myself. I actually bought one through their website just to see how they did everything. And like I said, I think they're $150. They're $150 on their website, but when the shipping to my house in Lancaster was going to be $22.72. So after that, it was actually, of course, I got these wholesale, and that's what's going on. So these are 164, and this sounds incredible. It's 100% all analog. Yeah, it's awesome. Susie, the Zach Bryan, I've got American Heartbreak for $59.99. And I have Deanne. Deanne is $29.99. Brandon, I do not have any Rebutation. I do not have any of those. Rebellutation or Rebellion. I don't know how you say that. I don't have that though. Leslie gets the Pink album. That is sold to Leslie. And Paul Gill says does. So still at $30 on Stevie Ray Vaughan 2-night only offer. I will have to pass, but thank you. There'll be some records I just don't discount, especially after I've sold already a bunch of them at sticker. Everybody else that's bought one would probably be like, well, I wish I could have got mine for 30. So that's usually why I don't do that. If that record's still here, if that record is still here for $34.99, Nick Bargeron, if this is still here on August 20th of 2024, if that's still here on on March 20th, 2024, I'll actually sell it to you for $17.50. But it won't be. Or I'll probably actually do it for like $19.99. I'll sell it to you for $20 if it's still here a year from now. But yeah, we don't discount a lot of new vinyl. Really no reason to, and plus our margins are so slim on it, we have to do that. So $34.99. If you want it, just say Stevie Ray Vaughan sold. Or a year from now, I'll sell it to you for $20, but it won't be here. It'll probably be out of print, and you won't be able to get it. Just let me know. Anybody else? We're going to call it a night. I've got a lot to do to get ready for tonight, and yeah, we got another show to get ready for. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to look at a collection, so show is kind of pending in general. If not, we're going to do a really late start, but I got to go look at some stuff tomorrow. So I think Craig Johnson wants one of the Countdown to Ecstasies. One of those are sold to Craig. I've got one left. If anybody wants one of those, I got to get some more of those. Those and Can't Buy a Thrill. And I think Nick may want this. I don't really know for sure, but we'll find out. So thanks everybody for watching. That's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow to do this again. Possibly. Like I said, I'm going to look at a collection and the guy doesn't get home till late. If not, we'll be back for sure on Saturday. Right, Tanner? Yep. All right. That is the lineup. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a good night. See you again tomorrow.